Hey, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. My name is Ola, coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. This is Man of Prestige. Today we are talking about men don't care about a woman's degrees and achievements. We'll also talk about Samuel L. Jackson and the secrets to no. He has some secrets. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about women talk too much. Anthony O'Neill. We're also going to talk about how to be a marriage material, the breaking point, the super story time today. We're also, of course, we're going to talk about never leave your husband over cheating and advice from Toyin Tomato, Ashewoto Remeka, Toyin Adegbola, Nollywood actress, veteran Nollywood actress. That's what we're talking about today. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. As you're coming in, help me hit the like button. But let's get started today. It's going to be a fantastic show. I'll be right back.
Hey Prestige fam, show some love to the video. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we're here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today and take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve.
Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. So I got so the remix.
EMB, Talks Bites, Remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us in your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice, but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. But then it took a long fun I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. He was right at the pen station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt the sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes are killing light. I found me a beautiful girl.
Body me LP, oh yeah,
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a cocoa bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger, we look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty. I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love? Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows, all I kept on saying
seen her? LP, have you seen her? I'm gonna go over the Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look. I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace several presents and gifts, call me Santa. Claus, I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me ass and culture, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it, beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing time. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola. But I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
Hey, welcome back. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. What's going on, Chinye? Hello. Welcome. Good to see you. I see CB was here much earlier on in the afternoon. More like in the middle of the night, 1:53 a.m. But welcome. Either way, please do me a favor, hit the like button. Let's ping everybody else into the room. As you know, it takes us a while to warm up the algorithms. Just help me hit it. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up the notifications. As I said at the beginning, today I've got a few things to cover. So I'm going to try not to rush, but I'm also going to try to cover everything. We're going to talk about men don't care about a woman's degrees, and achievements. We're going to talk about Samuel L. Jackson's shocking secrets, even in marriage. And we're going to talk about Women Talk Too Much by Anthony O'Neill. So yes, we're bringing back Anthony O'Neill today. Hopefully you can find that video very quickly. Okay, we'll find it. Also, we have a super story that both of us, well, all of us, should react to and advise. It's called The Breaking Point. And then, of course, we're going to talk about our dear Nollywood actress, Toyin Tomato, Ashewo Mecca, a legendary Nollywood actress status, Toyin Adegbola. She's advising never leave your husband over cheating. I think my take on this might shock you today. Those are the things we have to talk about today. I want to say shout out to all our sponsors, everybody that donate here, everybody that's supporting. Hit the like button. I want to say thank you for all your support. Basically, what we do here we tackle trendy topics and we extract life and relationship lessons from them from a self-power, social seduction, attraction, emotional intelligence standpoint. You can download our books absolutely for free, the audiobooks for free. Just go to manofprestige.com. And thank you for all your donations this month. This is what we're doing this month so far on the screen. It goes a long way for all your support. So, but you can see I'll keep showing up. This is our free coaching session. So please continue to take advantage of it. But also know that my wife and I were all marriage, life, relationship coaches. So you can reach us with the phone number information on the screen or manofprestige.com. if you need help personally. Okay. We are unfortunately going to generalize quite a bit on these public platforms. For proper healing, for adequate healing, for lasting healing solutions, you want to get down to your personal stories, and generalizations will not help. Okay. What you're going to find on the internet are things like all Nigerians are Oloshos. Or you can find things like all AA women are aggressive, or things like, oh, all AA men are, are just they're just looking for your money. You're gonna find more and more things like that on the internet. It's just the way it goes. But if you want healing, lasting healing solutions with your relationship, your life, your marriage, then please reach out so we can get down to the real cocoa of the matters. And it doesn't matter what culture you're coming from. My wife and I, we've been developed in multiple different cultures around the world, so we know how to take our time to address things from your own personal standpoint. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. I will be. Wait, hold on. Let me see who is here. I see Marriott is here. I see Chidima is here. Welcome, welcome. Who else is here? Okay, this us here, right here. All right, so yeah, do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Let's get started. I'll be right back.
Hey Prestige fam, show some love to the video. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we're here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today and take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve. All right. Everybody, real quickly, hit the like button, share, subscribe. All right, let's hit the like button. I see Chinye says, this is us, the inner caucus. Yes, sir. We are the chosen. Welcome. Hit the like button. Now let's get into it. There's a story here. I think Uncle Beno posted this in the backstage. So let's talk about it.
He doesn't care about it, but that's not what he's focused on or worried about.
I'm gonna refresh it so we can get it from the beginning. There you go. Let's see.
Want is not interested in your money. The man you actually want does not care about that degree. Not that he doesn't care about it, but that's not what he's focused on or worried about. That's not what's going to raise his children.
Exactly. We're taught that our value is in our career and our money as women. And our value, as we teach in our date coaching, is our value is what do you bring after 5? After 5 p.m. when the job is closed and you're just sitting on the couch with him, where's your value then? What conversation do you have? How fun are you? When is he saying, ooh, I can't wait to talk to Coriel. I haven't talked to her for a couple
Are
days.
you even fun? Do you smile?
Right.
Are you fun to be around?
Right.
Do you enjoy each other's company? Like all of that. All of
The
that.
common sense that, because we got all these degrees and all these accomplishments, but the lack of common sense when it comes to dating is just like, how come
It's not so common.
it's not common at all? There's no logic. It's all feelings. I feel like he should just take me as I am. Why would he do that?
He doesn't have to.
He does not have to.
He doesn't
He
have
doesn't
to.
have to.
And it's sometimes
The man you actually want is not interested in your money. The man you actually want does not care about that degree. Not that he doesn't care about it, but that's not what he's focused on or worried about. That's not what's going to raise his children.
Exactly. We're taught that our value is in our career and our money as women. And our value, as we teach in our date coaching, is our value is what do you bring after 5?
Yes.
After 5 p.m. when the job is closed and you're just sitting on the couch with him, where's your value then? What conversation do you have? How fun are you? When is he saying, ooh, I can't wait to talk to Coriel. I haven't talked to her for a couple
Are
days.
you even fun? Do you smile?
Right.
Are you fun to be around?
Yes,
Do you enjoy each other's company? Like all of that. All of
The
that.
common sense that, because we got all these degrees and all these accomplishments, but the lack of common sense when it comes to dating is just like, how come
it's not so common?
It's not common at all. There's no logic. It's all feelings. I feel like he should just take me as I am. Why would he do that?
He doesn't have to.
He does not have to. He doesn't have to.
And it's sometimes
the man you.
All right, so let's get into it. Wow. What are we talking about here? Men don't care about the woman's degrees and achievements. Do you agree? Anybody in the chat agree? Hit the like button. We're just getting started. Hit the like button. Do you agree that men don't care? Ladies, do you agree that men don't care about your degrees? You can have more degrees than the thermometer. Your first degree, your PhD, right? I got a PhD. You have to take me like as I am, right? Do you guys agree that men don't care about the woman's degrees and achievement? Welcome, Black Diamond. Welcome. They are right, except feelings change. What happens then, as we have learned? Feelings, emotions are not your mate. I told you. That's what Kevin Samuels thought, that men don't care about degrees. That's what he said, right? That's what he said. Is it really that simple? Hit the like button. Let's ping everybody else into the room. Do men care about your degrees, achievements, or not? When I say do men, that means I am automatically about to generalize. It is allowed as long as we are talking about majority. A lot of people try to act like they're talking about the majority.
Stop the cap.
Usually they're talking about their own feelings when they say that. Just because the guy in one place and everybody's thinking the same way does not mean it's the majority. Is the majority in that room? Yes. So a lot of them, they will cap all day long, agreeing with each other, validating each other.
Stop the cap.
But is it really that simple? Welcome, Binkbe. The question is, do men care about your degrees, your first degrees, your education level, your PhD, your achievements, your bus check? Do men care about our degrees? Binkbe said, we all want our partner to be the best of themselves, so I don't agree. Okay. All right, Binkbe is coming with the blaze. She's coming blazing those guns. Love it. Yep. So anybody else have an opinion on this? Let me analyze what they're saying word for word. Let's see. And then we'll take it from there.
Actually want is not interested in your money. The
men actually not interested in your money. I don't want to nitpick her words. Let's see why.
The man you actually want does not care about that degree. Not that he does.
The man you actually want does not care about that degree. Who's you? Sounds like generalization. So I don't know what you is talking about. The two ladies that are sitting with her on the podcast, I think they are dating coaches. So what did they mean? Let's keep going.
Doesn't care about it, but that's not what he's focused on or worried about. That's not.
Okay, that's not what he's focused on or worried about. When, how, when, in what context? That's not what he's focused on or worried about within what context, right? Because it depends on what context we're talking about. In the grand scheme of things, they want you to be the best version of yourself, right? The best version of yourself might include some degrees, some degrees that has led to some earning power. Yes. It can be very useful in reality because no condition is permanent. Even if he brings all the money to the table, no condition is permanent. But your earning power can be within the family business, can also be, in terms of working a 9 to 5 for other people, as long as you come home and you're still a wife, So what is she talking about? I'm just wondering what context. I'm listening out for the context.
Gonna raise his children.
Exactly. We're taught that our value is in our career and our money as women.
She said we're taught that our value is in our career and our money. Okay.
And our value, as we teach in our date coaching, is our value is what do you bring after 5?
Yeah.
After 5 p.m. when...
All right, so if you look at the gentleman below on that screen, he's nodding his head. He's like, The problem with these things is that they're not willing to admit that there's an actual context to which they are speaking. On a normal day, if someone fall out of the skies and they have no trauma whatsoever, they haven't collected shege from anybody. If they're coming and they're looking for a wife or their husband, they're looking for the best that the market has to offer. One of the easiest way, as they've just admitted, that people measure that is that, are you educated? Are you high school diploma? Are you secondary school? WAEC? Did you go to college, university, OND, HND, college of education? Did you take you to PhD? The only reason why people are having these conversations, they tend not to bring it up at all. Like, no, we just woke up one day and we started saying that we don't care about degrees.
Stop the cap.
No, waiting happen now. On a normal day, everybody cares about an achievement, including when people say marriage is not an achievement. You know what I mean? What do you mean that marriage is not an achievement? What do you mean that we don't care about the degrees? Tell us the rest of the story. Tell us the rest of, where is the rest of the story? What happened? How did you wake up one day and you suddenly as a man say, hey, I don't care if my wife has, I don't care about that PhD that she has. Okay, by the way, we might not be looking for that, right? But generally speaking, we cannot care if you're educated, at least to high school diploma. First degree is not bad, right? It's not really a requirement, right? But guess what? I don't think women necessarily make a requirement unless they've achieved it. And then they kind of like look forward to people in the same socio-economic class. That's default. That's on a normal day. But why would anybody wake up in a normal day and say, I don't care about your degrees? That question needs to be answered in order to make sense of the advice that they are giving. I'm sure it's a fantastic advice, but we need to get to why they started thinking like, you think because you got a degree? Yeah, that attitude, where did it come from? What happened? The rest of the story. Because if we don't address that, that's the root issue. If we don't address that, you will start blaming degrees, and the issue is not the degrees. It's not. These are the problem. The issue is not the degree. The issue is not the fact that she has a PhD. It is not. You need to tell us the rest of the story. Because you open your eye like this and you went and married somebody, or you started dating somebody who has a PhD, and then you come back into the internet and tell everybody that men don't care about PhD. Okay, let me presume that I agree with you. Why? Make your case. Like, what happened there? Why is it that men don't? Why is it that that man, that particular man that she's talking about, that they've generalized everybody to become, why is it that that particular man, what happened that that man stopped caring about degree? Now, let me go back. Let me take a step back for a second. A man who is looking for a wife, right? It's not like he's looking around looking for a PhD, but he generally will be paying attention within his social circle, right? He generally would hang out around the same caliber of people that he is, right? So if it's a college degree type of person, it might be at networking events, it might be such, believe it or not, certain churches have a bunch of graduates, and other certain types of churches would actually have a bunch of people who never finished high school. Go look, you will see it, generally speaking, right? So he will be looking within the circle on a normal day. So it's not like it's pinpointed, does he have a PhD? Like it's not. But the point where he gets to where he uses the word, I don't care, right? At that point.
Don't care. Don't care.
Something happened. What happened? We need to address what happened. Something happened. Somebody has collected shege.
Sorry.
They need to tell us the rest of the story. If they want a lasting healing solution, they need to get to the bottom of what happened there. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Let's keep going.
The job is closed
absolutely.
and you're just sitting on the couch with him.
Listen, no.
Where's your value then? What conversation do you have? How fun are you? When is he saying, ooh, I can't wait to talk to Coriel. I haven't talked to her for a couple
Are
days.
you even fun? Do you smile?
Right.
Are you fun to be around?
Do you smile? Ladies, they're talking about you all here. Yes, of course, we want you to smile. Of course. But again, we're talking about the symptoms. We're not addressing the issues. We're not addressing the main issues. We're not even willing to admit that there's an issue first. We're just going to pretend like some people just wake up and they don't like to smile. They just woke up randomly. They just want to show shege to their partners. You can't do that, okay? Well, especially when it's something as simple as a smile, attitude, right? It's simple, but it's not easy, right? It's not easy, obviously, because if it was easy, everybody would just know that, oh, she has an attitude because something else is going on. Let me take my time to find out how I can help. But we're in the social media age where some people's voices are louder, and before you know it, the loud voices are used to generalize the rest of the population. Why is she not smiling? Why does she have an attitude? Is it that just because people from a Efik tribe in Nigeria, they tend to have attitude? Is it really that simple?
Do you enjoy each other's company? Like all of that. All of that.
The common sense that, because we got all these degrees and all these accomplishments, but the lack of common sense when it comes to dating is just like, how come
it's not so common?
It's not common at all. There's no logic.
Now, on the flip side of things, you have all these degrees and they're calling it common sense. I always say common sense driven advices are just terrible guide to life, right? Go and ask PDD. They're just terrible guide, okay? You need a little bit more than common sense. I call it common because most people have it, or at least they claim that they have it, right? That's why I call it common sense, you know? So it's very important that we really address context when you're addressing these issues. I'm asking for context in their conversation. They're not saying anything that's wrong. These ladies are not saying anything that's wrong. I'm asking for context. They're generalizing. If you're generalizing, I have to assume that you're right.
You're right.
Okay. But when I really get interested in the conversation, then I want to ask, where's the rest of the story? What do you mean? In what context, right? And these are the questions that we need to start asking when it comes to relationship. A lot of people are going to generalize. We do generalize in the church, okay? If you go into the comments I put on Uncle Benno's original post, I said they are wrong. I take that back. They are right. Okay?
You're right.
Right. Of course, 9 to 5. How do we enjoy our life? Do you smile? Do you have a nice attitude? No, never mind your PhD. Are you a nice person? Or you're just blunt, rude person? Of course. So they're right. They're right. But I think just generalized advices like, oh, you should love each other. Oh, you should cater to each other. You should buy flowers for each other. Oh, you should go on a date once every week. Like, who am I to ever argue with that? Of course, all those advice are right.
You're right.
All those advices are right. I can't disagree with them, right? Hopefully you guys are still hearing me. My internet is acting up. I do see your comments. But where's the context? If you want to get to the root of issues in relationships, in life, relationships, and marriage, we need context. We need to personalize it. It needs to be story by story by story, case by case by case. Okay. If a man comes to me and he starts with, my wife is a very well educated person. She's got a PhD. In fact, she's an engineer at the plant, at Dangote's plant. She's the executive there. I'm waiting for the but, because I don't think those things are the problems. I'm waiting for the but. Now, those things can be an environment to magnify certain problems. Okay. Like, for example, if she has options, if she can make her own money, if she can literally go and get an apartment across the street and not have to deal with the BS. So that environment can expand or magnify certain issues in the direction you like. It's completely up to you. Like, are you aware of how these issues, of these real things, good things, achievements can actually magnify issues? Are you aware of that? Or you're just going to say, no, I was wrong. Don't ever marry a woman who has a PhD. Baba, if this is how you think, you go collect.
Sorry.
It's a blind spot. It's a blind spot that is particularly very popular on the internet today. Many of the advices you're getting are even from dating coaches. Okay, all of them are more interested in growing a platform, so they generalize because they're trying to gather a certain type of people that think only one way. And I can't judge them because there's only so much time they can give you on a public platform. I can only hope that if you do hire any one of them, that they're able to get into the story and tell you that, okay, yeah, she has a PhD, but that's not the root cause. That's not the real issue, you know? Oh yeah, I'm married when I was 19, but that's not the root cause. All right, that can magnify issues if you're married too young, but that's not the real cause. That's not the real root cause of the issues that most people are going through. All right, so can you guys, if you can still hear me, put a 1 in the chat, because my internet is acting up. So I just want to make sure, put a 1 in the chat if you can still hear me. I'm ready for Brakidola to talk about the house girl of his dreams. Brakidola is listening. He's always listening behind the scenes. That's my brother. I think men care about what comes with the degrees more than the degrees itself. If degrees mean disrespecting men, then of course they won't care. If you have degrees that are not useful again, see? So you see, the point is that we added context. We need some context. All the generalized advice you're gonna get on the internet, ladies, get your own money. Kill mean. After you get your own money, what does that mean in the grand scheme of things, in the long run, in terms of happiness in life? What does that mean? Does that solve all the problem? I can hear you in your spirit say, of course not. Okay, great. Let's get to the other side of the conversation, right? Because I'm with you so far. Of course, you should have your own money. It gives you options. But what else is going on? What else do we need to talk about, right? So yes, it's very, very true. If you bring it's like a man bringing all the money to the table, but he doesn't know how to treat you. He can provide for days, for generations to come. Eventually, all that provision will become, see, finish will enter. You'll be like, what is it, Range Rover? You bought me Range Rover. But then I feel disgusted every other day because of the way you're treated. Eventually, you're gonna get tired of all the Range Rover, all the money, all the finance, all the stuff, provision, all that. You're going to be looking for what is missing. Sometimes you'll be looking for what is not missing because you just feel a void. You don't know exactly what it is, right? The point of this conversation is context. Content is no good enough. You need context. You need to make sure that you're, as much as we are gathering all this knowledge about relationships, reading all the books, make sure we're also learning application. Okay? Gigi says, men not interested in money. So why did discuss about 50-50? Omo Atayao. And by the way, an average marriage if it doesn't start that way, we're getting to the space where they actually need the wife's money to support for a while, even if it's just for a while, sometimes for a long time, before he might even never get back on his feet. So it's a lot of cap in this conversation when it comes to, oh, men just don't care about. No, we care about we care about marriage. It's an achievement. We care about your degrees, ladies. If you have one, it's not like it's a requirement, but we will celebrate it. Of course, we'll celebrate it. The only time that a man can get into a place of stop celebrating it is, again, if he starts to feel feelings. Same thing she was talking about. Feelings. If he starts to feel that you're prideful because of all these achievements, he's going to tag on to those achievements. He would never address the root cause issues, right? In other words, you won't get into a place of healing.
It's all feelings.
Yeah.
I feel like he should just take.
I feel like here's the reality. We all care about nothing outside of our feelings. Every single one of us. We don't care about anything outside of our feelings. We can camouflage it all we want. We can call it logic. At the end of the day, even when we get logical stuff on paper, we interpret it with our feelings. Is the way it works, right? So tagging on to, women say, I feel like that should not be a problem. It's your job. If you're trying to lead, it's your job to get to the root of the reason why she feels the way she feels. You should be appreciative that she's actually, he or she, including men, that he or she is actually expressing how they feel and not bringing some fake ass logical stoicism, masculine, misguided points to the table. Human beings, we don't care about anything outside of our feelings. We might pull some logical stuff to the surface. Okay, we're basically just trying to justify our feelings. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. We're just trying to justify our feelings. That's all we're doing. Okay, we can go back into the dictionary. This is what the word means. We can go and do math and come back and say this is what it means. We can do all of that, right? All of that is just trying to justify our feelings. And there's nothing wrong with that. The only time something is wrong with that is when we're not able to acknowledge that. If you're using the idea that you think you're more logical than everybody else, if you're using that to shame the people that you in a relationship that you care about, if you're using that to shame them, to blame them, then of course, you'll collect now. Yeah, because you basically make them feel unsafe. They won't be able to tell you how they feel. In other words, they will tell you lies the same way you've been telling each other lies. It will just get nastier and nastier and nastier. So what am I saying? Content is cute. Learning everything there is to learn is cute. We need to get down to the stories. We need case studies. We need to get down to specifics. As I understand sometimes it's too personal. You don't want to get in there, but as far as you can go, get deep into the stories before you try to apply any of anybody's ideology to your situation, because it will just backfire. All right. So you keep the thing for mind till now. Marianne isn't finished. That's good at meeting. Yeah. Hey CB, welcome CB. Education is important, absolutely, right? Until it doesn't produce any good fruit, then it's one of the easiest things for men of nowadays to point fingers at. They will say it's because you're too educated, or because you have your own car, because you have your own house. Those are the easy things to point fingers at now. This is why you see some people advise don't buy a house before you're married. There's a lot of truth to what they're trying to say. Does following that advice create lasting solution? No, it doesn't, because that was never the issue. But because people see things that way, you have to pay attention to it, right? So if you're a single woman and you're about to buy a car, and you're about to buy a house, and you've never been married, just the awareness is all you need, so that you don't overreact when people say that. You understand where they're coming from, right? So the key is to not overreact. So just understand that human beings will generalize. Your own is to not tag onto it and make it about you. Okay, men be like, don't care, still don't care. And then women be like, you're lying. Women don't even do that. As you can see, those ladies, they're actually starting to believe the lies. We're seeing more and more women believing the lies. So now they're confused. They're like, but I did what you said you wanted. I gave up everything for you. And then it's like, right? The same way, the flip side. Men are starting to believe some of the lies that women tell. Like, I wash your pata, I wash your plates, and you're still never happy. Because you didn't take the time to listen. Good for you. Clap for yourself. You're doing the house chores in your own house. Okay? But that's not all it is. In fact, you probably missed the whole point of why she was complaining in the first place. Lies upon lies. Anyway, women with degrees and are more enlightening and liberated. So all these men have collected. They have Nahid Dusa women, wicked modern women. It's problems. Now, up to, when they say divorce is initiated, 70% of divorces are initiated by the women, right? It's a real statistics, right? And then up to 96% college-educated women, right? Again, those are all numbers we can be aware of. If you approach them at a surface level, you'll miss it. You just be like, don't go and marry a college-educated woman. You've missed it. You missed it. The point is a little bit deeper than that, right? A college-educated woman is probably not going to tolerate abuse, okay? But they're also very quick to make a snappy decision off of what they can see without considering the emotions behind the scenes, right? Logical. I'm logical. I got a PhD. They're just thinking logic. Yes, women are thinking logic too, right? So if it doesn't make sense, if he has ever cheated before, if he's not cheating per se, because cheating is of a deeper stuff. We're going to talk about that later on. But if two of my friends said he's a narcissist, they also always include he can never change. So what's the next best decision to make as a college-educated woman? Let's just pull the plug. After all, in fact, your friends can afford to sponsor you through your next 6 months of your apartment. Just pull the plug. Call it a day. It can be a very confusing thing. Again, that's why sometimes they have enough information to do that. Most of the times they don't. It's generalizations, right? So it just depends, case by case by case. Yes, in spite of the statistics, we got to take it case by case by case. Not jump out there because you are quote unquote logical, because you have all the degrees in the world. Some of the people that are struggling with marriage today, most of them that are struggling with marriage today are very smart, intelligent, high degree, high PhD engineers, high tech, doctors, lawyers. They're these people, okay? And they struggle because as far as they can see, they're like, I've done all the math, I've done everything, and they don't understand what's going on. I can usually point the fingers at, generalizations, okay? There are men who want a woman who can have intelligent conversations in public. All men want that until, okay? All men want that until they have collected shege.
Sorry.
So it's the shege that we need to be addressing, that we need to be talking about. What shege exactly? We don't know what shege until we start hearing those stories. I do have a super story for you today. The world like lies now. Tax stats of various nations makes us know they have to hoard. They have no money. Some women will just say they play. Yeah, because again, they have options, and the options are real. And the options, yes, will influence certain decisions at a macro level across the board. All right. Exactly. Who can carry a certain decorum when they are with their woman in public and not be nervous about the next thing? You see, here's the issue. Sometimes men would just be in a situation where they're trying to say, baby, this is how you do it. And the woman's like, no, you're wrong. No, no, you're wrong. Because the woman is also intelligent, and he's probably seen the blind spot. If he's been listening to a few people, or he's been brought up in a way to think that, hey, if a woman is too smart, it's a negative thing, he's going to yield. He's not even going to listen to you anymore. He's just going to yield direct. He's just going to go in that direction and say, I knew it. She's just prideful. She's disrespectful. When most men that say a woman is disrespectful are literally speaking from their place of emotion. Okay. Now, that's not to mean that she's been conducting herself a certain way. But oftentimes, the way he reacts to anything that smells like disrespect breeds more disrespect, or what he might perceive as disrespect. Like everybody just doubles down in the direction that they're thinking, right? So as intelligent as you can be, decorum, the problem is when you find yourself in crisis. Is the context I'm looking for. What happened? Why are we talking about this? That's the real issue. On a normal day, most men will exactly like what Chinya is saying or replying to CB, right? They want to be able to, a woman who is very smart. I was at an event yesterday where Ngozi, what's her name? Okojewela, right? The Director General of World Trade Organization. She got standing ovation. And there were presidents in that room that did not get that same standing ovation yesterday in New York City. That's a woman, highly accomplished woman. Now, the question is, the issue, you can't really compare that to an average woman because, first of all, we don't know what's going on in her home, right? I know she's married or so, right? Second of all, we don't know how much skill she has when it comes to our home front, right? Third of all, she's not your average woman. It's irresponsible to make that comparison on any given day. I see men say, what about people like Ibuku Awoshika? All these people are all good women and they are educated. Why don't you be like them? These are all the wrong comparisons. These are not your average woman. On a normal day, you should never compare your partner to other people. You should listen to them. They are the best to teach you how to seduce them. Your partner is the best person to teach you how to seduce them. I didn't say the evil woman or the woman that's supposed to get out of your house. I'm talking about your partner. They are the best person to teach you how to seduce them. How?
How, Sway?
Active listening. Are you going to get caught up in your emotion first, or take your time to listen to what they're trying to say? Not what they say, but what they're trying to say. Are you going to be patient enough to do that? It's difficult, especially if you're just getting started, especially if there's been already damages in your relationship, especially when you're very smart, intelligent, you can see beyond that's common sense. She should just know better. If that's how you think, you go collect. I said, you go collect.
Sorry.
So it's basically an issue of smart, intelligent people across the board. It's a need to humble yourself. It's a need to apply humility, right? It's across the board. It's not gender-based. The need to, while you can, you know where that person is going already. You want to attack them right back. They give you a jab. You want to give them a left hook, right? You can't wait because you already feel like you know where they're going. So it's super difficult to say, you know what? I'm here today for a reason. This okay. I'm in this relationship. I'm still in this relationship with this person. There's something I need to figure out. At least there is something I need to figure out. That's that moment of epiphany. Like, no, I know everything there is to know in this world. I'm a very smart, intelligent, degree, high PhD person, but I have not taken the time to listen long enough to my partner. Y'all feel me? So, Let me see. Let me just read a little bit of chat, then we'll move on to the next segment here. She's been married for years and her husband has been there supporting her during her entire career. Sound like Madam Ngozi, right? Madam Ngozi is married and happy. Her husband is not in competition with her. Good point. Exactly. Let's see. CB, I never want to be a man. Being a woman is so lit. That's exactly how I feel about being a man. Me and you on the same page, Black Diamond. Marriott, I understand you, but that's why women have the choice to pick a man with masculine traits. I speak more about us because I've never been a man. All right. MOP, I'm not trekking, just keep because a boy feels insecure. I'm not you mean settling? What's trekking? Is that an English word that I missed? Yes. Because a boy feels insecure. If that's how you feel about him, there's only one solution.
He shock you.
Leave him alone. Cut him loose. To the rest, trust me, somebody else might find that useful. Just cut him loose because you guys will not serve each other. You know? All these standards for women, Black Diamond, but men just exist. Men don't just exist, though. But you know, I as usual, I'm not gonna start talking about the plight of men unless we're talking about that. Men don't just exist; they struggle everywhere. That's why there's already default balance. It's already fair. Stop looking for fairness. If I can stay in my feminine aura, I'm out. Beautiful. Love that. A boss in the boardroom, a bee in the bedroom, and a lady in society. Love that. So men are the reason why we have masculine men. You mean women these days? Well, a man is not. You can't do that to yourself. Well, if you meant to say women, right? If you meant to say that, this statement is a fantastic way to shoot yourself on the legs. You're giving the power away. Don't do that, ladies. Don't do that. Never ever. You see, when you said this sounds more better to me. Like, especially if you had, I'm walking away and meaning it, because a lot of women will walk away and come back and walk away and come back and confused. That's not a place of power, right? But when you use this statement right here, this statement, let me see if I can find it again though. If you say a man is the reason why you're masculine, even it can be true on paper, mindset wise, don't do that, right? Don't do that. If you find yourself being masculine, take accountability, change your environment, okay? Back off, take some 3, 4, 5, 6 steps backwards from that situation. Do yourself that favor. At least you can see clearly when you back off. You can take a step back. You see clearly. You see a lot better clearly. You know, very, very important. CB said pride is normal. I missed that context. Pride. If I were to generalize, yes, pride is pretty normal. We all have pride. We all have all these different traits that are double-edged sword. They can cut both ways. They can destroy us. They can also build. CB, you are a point, a boss in the boardroom, a bee in the bedroom. Are most couples retiring on one person's income in 2024 in the abroad? It depends. That's it's a very general question, all right? Because what is the one person income we're talking about? Now, you did say most couples, right? You did say most couples, but even at that, it doesn't have to be both income. It depends on how you see that, right? So, for example, if let me give you an example, right? Context always matters, right? If one person is bringing in $150,000 per year, right, and the other person is, they chose to have 3, 4 kids, right, and the other person is maintaining that front, and they've made it a point to make sure that all of their expenses, they live in an environment where all their expenses are under 50%. Oh yeah, absolutely, they can retire on that. But when you say most, I'm not sure where you're getting at with that. Maybe a financial advisor can pull up some numbers and say you're better off, both of you working. But oftentimes we've seen both people working, and then they also raise kids that nobody was monitoring. There's too many nuances, too many variables to it, But I would say most couples are actually probably retiring with not enough money to retire. If I really want to go into that conversation, they don't have most, like I have a Macy's right next to me. Macy's is a departmental store, and you see old people in their 65, 70, people that actually had decent careers. They are going there they have Social Security, but they are going there to supplement the income to pay for the environment that we live in. Things are very expensive. So there's just so much that goes into that, that we can start to agree, disagree on, and all that kind of stuff, She said, the context is lost. Oh, you're right. Yeah, so I missed it. We need care and attention. I like my man to listen to me. It's a turn on. I think most women agree with you, I think most women will agree with that. Just keep in mind that men also like to have a woman who is understanding. Just keep that at the back of your mind. But let's go with that. You meant masculine women. Yes. All right. So let's do me a favor. Men don't care about a woman's degrees or achievements. If you say that's true, put a 1 in the chat. If you say that's false, put a 2 in the chat. Let me see it. 1, true. 2 in the chat, false. If you think that's false, put a 2. Based off of our discussion today, do you think that's true? Put a 1. Think that's false? Put a 1 in the chat. I'd like to know what you think, because I added quite a bit of context today, hopefully, or at least I asked questions. What is the context, right? So I think it was more so I was asking, what is the context? I said they are right by default. Well, what is the context, right? I see Chinye says 2, false. 2, Chidima, false. GG, and that's coming from a man. Okay, and Black Diamond said 3, I'm in between. Okay, I get that, because on a normal day, men will like to talk to somebody who is as smart as they can get until they start collecting shege. And then start listening to the wrong cruiser. Like, wait, your woman has PhD? Is that why she's so proud? It might even be his sister that would say that's why she thinks she's read everything in the world. She has a PhD in engineering, so she thinks she's better than everybody, huh? Anyway, now no for her house. So the reason why people are questioning if marriage, if degrees, if achievements are achievements is because they have collected shege. Sometimes secondhand shege. So it's not always direct. They might have heard too many stories of people who achieve these things and they turn out to be nothing, So hit the like button, share, subscribe. Let's get into some of the next story. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. This next story, we're going to be talking about Samuel L. Jackson and some secrets. Yeah. Let's talk about it. I'll be right back.
Hey Prestige fam, show some love to the video. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we're here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today and take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve. All right, Samuel L. Jackson, who is an American actor, in case you don't know. He's an American actor, very, very popular American actor. just in case you don't know. So I see a report here on our Yahoo Entertainment of Samuel L. Jackson talking about some of the crazy things is done in his marriage. Let me come to the chat real quick. Here's a question I have for you. Are you guys surprised? He's been married for 44 years now. He's been married for 44 years. If you're surprised that he's done some crazy things in his marriage, put a 1 in the chat. If you're not surprised, put a 2 in the chat. If you're in between, put a 3 in the chat. We're going to be very quick with this one. If you are surprised that Samuel L. Jackson has been married to his wife Latanya Richardson, for 44 years. If you believe that he has done some crazy things in marriage, put a 1 in the chat. If you believe that he has not, if you were shocked, put a 1. If you were not shocked, put a 2. Right? As Chinye say, not shocked. Chidima say, hey, I'm shocked though. That Samuel L. Jackson, like I'm Odogu inside of marriage, they're done crazy things like what? Kill me. He shock you. Right? Gen Z and millennials are fantasizing about relationships in general. It's not just marriage, even friendship. I keep changing the 1s and 2s. Maybe it's intentional. If you're surprised, put a 1. If you're not surprised, like, it's normal, put a 2. If you're in between, if you're like, learning from this last segment about men and their hatred for bachelor and master's degrees and PhDs, let me chill, put a 3. Right. Chinye say is in Hollywood, Hollyweird. Some people call it Hollyweird, with all the access now. Gigi says maybe crazy to me, but perhaps normal for them. No, he's the one saying crazy. He actually used the word crazy, so he thinks they're crazy too. Some men like women with degrees until she is so much in the limelight and is in her shadow. Insecurity will creep in. Yes, that's very real, CB. That's very, very real. Sometimes it's a loss of income for a little while. Okay, that can expose their nyash to basically expose whatever they were covering up with money. You can cover a lot of issues up with money, but there are a couple of things that can expose your nyash. Jackpot can expose your nyash. Jackpot can expose your nyash. Money can expose your nyash. Lack of money, like extreme poverty, people are going broke and they're stressed out about money all the time, can expose your nyash. If you've never worked on the marriage, crisis in general will expose your nyash. Crisis can come in the form of culture shock, which is why jackpot. So it's not jackpot, it's the culture shock. It's the environment change shock. So Chidima says 3 at this point. 44 years they've been together. No surprises, everything is possible. Yes, so with God, all things. You can't put human beings in a box, right? Provided there's no baby oil involved, I'm good. What if there's baby oil involved? Did you know about the LeBron James stuff that's coming up? They've been trying to drag LeBron James though with this Diddy stuff. Quite a few people have been dragged into this mess. Everybody's getting dragged into this mess. I feel like I'm the only man that has not been dragged into Diddy stuff. And let me not run my mouth yet, because you never know. I might have been to a Diddy party, but I probably left before any kind of crazy things happen. But anyway, 44 years of marriage is amazing. At least at this point, we can all agree that it's an achievement, right? At 44 years, can we all raise up our hands and say, at least it might not be an achievement on your day one or after 3 days, like Vicky James. Everybody's hitting on, okay? Everybody's hitting on Vicky James hard. But at 44 years, can we all say it's an achievement? But let me ask you this question. Do you think Latanya Richardson, that's his wife. That's Samuel L. Jackson's wife. Do you think she's done some crazy things still? If you think she's done some crazy things during the course of their marriage, put a 1 in the chat. If you think, nah, women are just innocent. Ola, you go explain that.
Explain, because no evidence.
You think women are always innocent? That no, she didn't do anything, put a 2 in the chat. If you think she's definitely done. If you think definitely she's done some crazy things in that marriage, put a 1 in the chat. If you think nope, women are innocent, put a 2 in the chat. If you just want to laugh out loud, put a 3 in the chat. Put a 3 in the chat. Let's go. Chidima said 1 because everyone is crazy. Not everybody is doing baby oil though. Not everybody is doing baby oil, but everybody's mad. LeBron James, they need to leave him alone. They have been dragging. Candace Owens have been dragging LeBron James for about 27 hours. Okay. That he needs to come up and speak up. He was at them parties. And Kevin Hart as well. I probably left. Yeah, I left before the free cuffs. Yes, just about when the free cuffs. I left with Marlon Wayans right about that same time that he was about to leave. I was like, I'm out too. I'm out. Yeah. Yep. So nobody's saying 2 or 3 here, huh? See waiting happen. Okay. All right. So let me. So while all marriages, okay. Now this story is good. You guys are gonna be shocked. Okay. I promise. It's gonna be shocking.
He shock you.
So while all marriages, according to this report on Yahoo Entertainment, while all marriages come with the promise of a happily ever after, all marriages, every single one of them, few couples actually go the long haul especially in Hollywood. For Samuel L. Jackson and his wife Latanya Richardson, however, they've defied the odds and have called themselves husband and wife for over 44 years now. But according to the Pulp Fiction star himself, staying together for all these decades hasn't been an easy ride. When asked in an interview for AARP, the magazine, about how they managed to make it work, Jackson got candid and said it's all about a lot of tolerance. Lots of tolerance. I told you it was going to shock you. It's a secret. Not too many. Everybody is talking about boundaries. They're not talking about tolerance. It's a secret. For the Gen Zs and the millennials, it's a secret. Okay?
He shock you.
Anyway, lots of tolerance. How much tolerance can you take? What was CB saying earlier? CB say, if I don't feel feminine, CB say, if I am not feminine, if I don't feel feminine, out. I'm out of here. Peace. A-town. Peace. I'm out of here. If I don't feel feminine, right? How many times in the course of any 1 year do you think you might not feel feminine, ladies? Let's put an estimate on that. I'll give you a couple of options. About 25 times in a year that you won't feel feminine with this man. Oh no, by the way, he made you feel feminine on day 1. Trust me. All right. He was the man. He brought the woman out of you. Right. There was a way he spoke. Right. So 25, 50, or 75, 3 options. Put your option. How many times? Okay, put 0. How many times in a very healthy, relatively speaking, healthy marriage, how many times do you think? 4 options. Pick one. 0, 25, 50, or 75. How many times do you think you might feel not so feeling masculine? You feel like I'm stressed out. Why do I have to tell you everything? Jesus Christ, I'm frustrated. How many times in a year? 0, 25, 50, or 75? Somebody is saying, what kind of jam questions are this? yeah, let's use percentage. No, not percentages, just numbers. Number of actual events, like actual moments that you can estimate to count. Number of actual moments that you can estimate to count. How many? Anybody want to guess? Let's see here. Hold on one second, guys. All right, sorry about that. So let me ask the question again. Yes, out of about 365 days. Now I'm talking about how many times? 0 times you're in a relatively successful marriage. Okay, most people think of you as the couple's goals, right? How many times do you think you might feel as a woman, feel masculine, feel like you're stressed out, feel like you have to worry about everything, feel like you're frustrated, feel like you have to complain about anything? How many times? You have 4 options. Pick the closest one to the one you want to say. 0, 25, 50, 75. How many times do you think that's going to happen? Because this guy said lot of tolerance, 44 years. What is lot of tolerance? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, and I quote, he said, everybody's got flaws. Everybody has got flaws, and not giving up when it would be easy to give up. He said of him and his wife, who tied a knot back in 1980. Oh yeah, that's true. 1980 is 44. I almost forgot. I've done shit in my marriage that's crazy, She has 2 in her head or whatever in reality. But you got to go. Is that a breakup offense? Or is it just that we need to spend a little time together and get some understanding about it? In other words, regardless of what they say or do in their marriage, they work together to address the root of the problems. I like the word root. I like the word tolerance. I like the word root, right? Instead of just giving up on their relationship altogether. But in addition to working through their issues, Jackson admits they've sometimes turned a blind eye to each other's quirks or issues. Meaning, mojukurumbe. Meaning, you know what? I don't know. That guy has peed on the toilet seat again, but right? Or there are certain things that you learn to ignore about people. That she's learned to ignore about me, he said. And one of the things she had to accept is that I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go to work all the time until it's time. Latanya, who also works in the entertainment industry as an actor, producer, and director, welcomed their only daughter, Zoe Dove, in 1982. On Instagram, it seems the family of 3 is going strong as ever. The best times are spent together with Sam and our Zoe Dove. Richard Singh wrote earlier this year in August, with a gallery of them enjoying a tropical vacation. I can hear somebody in my spirit. I can hear somebody in my spirit saying, What about George, what's his name? George Mathis. He was married for 39 years. Right? How much tolerance should a woman take? Or a man should take? Probably mostly women in this case, right? How much tolerance is enough? Right? Honestly, it's an open-ended question, It's an open-ended question, All I can tell you is that they're on point with regards to the secret to a successful, relatively long-term successful relationship. I'm not even going to go the marriage route because the marriage is a function of their relationship. Okay? The marriage is a function of their relationship. There have been people that divorce after 44 years. That's the reality. So as much as we're celebrating that on their behalf and say 44 years is an achievement, never, ever, ever forget what I tell you here, which is one day at a time. I would even take it down a little bit deeper than that. One issue at a time. There are going to be issues. There are going to be moments where your man will get in his feminine mode. He lost his masculine frame. He was talking out of his ass. He was disrespectful, right? Even emotionally and verbally abusive to each other. The only thing I tell people to not do is don't normalize it. Do something about it, right? But it's going to happen. It's going to happen from a blind spot. It will be happening already before you realize that's what's happening. What I always ask you to do is just, as soon as you catch that, okay, I feel like I'm being abused. As soon as you catch that, you need to do something about it. Don't just wing it. Don't say everybody is going through it. Don't say MOP have said that everybody will collect instead of marriage. Don't do that to yourself. And if you notice earlier on, I also said don't measure yourself or your partner. Don't compare them with other people. You know, there's nothing wrong with looking up to people, some people as mentors, but there's a fine line between that and there's an active comparison that makes you just see things from a very pessimistic standpoint, right? Just seeing the worst out of your partner. Don't do that. All the ideologies of what should not be accepted, what should not be tolerated, they are double-edged sword. They can cut both ways. They can actually block you from experiencing happiness. Listen to what I just said carefully. All the rules out there, all the rules that Gen Z and millennials are setting for themselves, I will never, they can actually block you from happiness. Okay? But I'll tell you this, as the moment you start to feel that somebody is abusing you, the moment you start to feel that, you need to do something about it. Take some step backwards and take care of yourself. Start taking care of yourself. You've probably lost yourself. And in other words, you're not going to create a 44-year marriage. If you did, it's just the farther you go, the harder you're going to fall. That's why it is very sad for a 39 years marriage to break apart. It's much more sad than it is for a 1 year, 2 years, because 1 year, 2 years is almost like, another one bites the dust. But 39 years, everybody's like, wait, what? Right? It hurts, right? In every way you can think of it. Like, what happened in 39 years? So the farther you go, the harder you're going to fall. Or the higher you go, the harder you're going to fall. So don't wing things. If you notice that you're feeling some type of way, get some understanding. And I love that he said that in his article here as well. There's a point here that he actually said that. He said, it's a matter of, let me read it to you, verbatim. Is that a breakup offense? Or is it just we need to spend a little time together and get some understanding about it? What is it? Whatever the issues are at that point in time. Okay. So I think there's some lessons there. What is the secret? Tolerance. But, again, there are people telling people to tolerate abusive relationships. So I would never tell you guys to do that. So it depends on what we're talking about. What are you tolerating? Right? Gentlemen, you don't have to tolerate an abusive relationship. You should never have to do that as well. Now, the question is, why did both generations create these rules? They saw too much. We need a personal healing journey. Yes, Marriott, you're getting it. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yep, there's a lot, and there's a lot of people in Samuel L. Jackson's generation, particularly in our Nigerian culture, that basically were tolerating the bullshit for too long. Yeah. So that's why I said if you feel, because again, nobody cares about anything outside of their feelings. If you're feeling some type of way and you don't do something about it, you're building resentments. and it's just going to backfire. It's only a matter of time. Let's see. Yes, so we miss Tima and D-Love. It's probably the timing, or they got busy, or they getting more money, right? Why is SLJ giving me creepy grandpa vibes? Yeah, I don't know. Black Diamond. It's another angle. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Was that truly a secret, or you thought, hey, it wasn't a secret? You just wasted our time. Let me know your thoughts. Join the conversation in the chat area. Okay. Anthony O'Neill. You remember Anthony O'Neill? Oh yeah, Anthony O'Neill was still running his mouth. We covered his story a few days ago, where he's a youth pastor. He basically he did a video on him doing shalaye about why he's not a virgin. He's not a virgin. It's not celibate, and he found himself doing shalaye. So yeah, we're about to talk about Anthony O'Neill one more time. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. I'll be right back.
Hey Prestige fam, show some love to the video. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we're here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today and take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve. All right, welcome back. Let's see. Yes, we're talking about Anthony O'Neill. Timeout. Anthony O'Neill. Let's see. Chidima says, "Oh, they're getting more degrees." They're getting more degrees. Like I say, you wasted our time. See me waiting for hot cheating gist. Next time, if you please come clear. Voila. He's done crazy things. It's based on your use your imagination. All right. He might have been, I don't know, maybe Baby Hoyel are involved, you know. But let's watch this video together and let's extract some lessons. Anthony O'Neill is talking.
Yeah. So y'all familiar with Anthony O'Neill? Y'all know him?
Oh, shout out to the Track Star podcast.
He's a finance guy. He used to work for
video.
Dave Ramsey. He was the black guy on Dave Ramsey, if you don't remember. He left because he kind of wanted to do his own thing.
He left his black job with Dave Ramsey?
His black job? He had a black job. Oh, there's at least one at every company. But he left that job and he started he's doing well right now.
Yeah.
For some reason, he was on a relationship panel.
Yeah.
So
your future wifey.
He said something very interesting.
At Change Church.
I'm not talking about last time I heard you said church. I'm not talking about change.
Okay.
I'm talking about church, the kingdom of Christ. The reason why I feel as if the actions do not match, and this is not going to be a popular statement, but it's a real statement, and men are scared to say this, but it's the truth. The reason why most men will not try to holler at a woman in the church is because a woman runs her mouth too much.
Sorry, I was muted. Sorry. He's talking. Thank you, Chiye, for catching that. Why is it that if you go to church, why is it that men are not approaching women in church? Have you found that to be true in your own church? Men are afraid of approaching the young ladies in church. Have you found that? Now, me, I know they're smashing. Okay, I know they're smashing. Ola, what do you mean? Trust me, they're smashing. But in terms of approaching with the intention to get married, with the intentions of marriage, A lot of people are saying men in church are not approaching them. But also he's admitting that a lot of men are not open to approaching women in church, and he's giving us the reasons. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me talking now. Put a one in the chat, please. Okay. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me talking, because I know my audio was ceased for a while. So why? What is going on? Thank you, Jerry. I know they're smashing. Okay. I know they're smashing. Okay. If your hands are clean, why will you be afraid to approach? You see? You see? They're already answering. Somebody said one, they're not approaching.
Oh, beauty.
This is how you want to answer, Chinye. Is this how you want to answer? People are smashing. I'm not talking men smashing men. I'm talking about men smashing women too. Okay? Are your hands clean too, ladies? I know they're smashing, but they're not approaching with intentions to marry. That's what Anthony is talking about. But let's go back. Let's see what he's saying.
I'm not talking about, last time I heard you said church. I'm not talking about change.
Okay.
I'm talking about church, the kingdom of Christ. The reason why I feel as if the actions do not match, and this is not going to be a popular statement, but it's a real statement, and men are scared to say this, but it's the truth.
Men are scared to say it. So he's not scared. He's the one with the full chest. I will talk. Me, I will talk. I will tell the truth and put the devil to shame. He's going to tell us the truth. Okay. Yes, at this point, let's just put Anthony O'Neill and induct him into the Hall of Fame of the truth tellers at this point. Okay. Last time I checked, he's a walking red flag. He's a 40-year-old man, never been married, no kids. Okay. Red flag doesn't mean he's a bad person. Actually, usually it means I think he's a Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Too much of a good guy who is entitled because he thinks he's a good guy. Okay, so that's a walking red flag. What do you mean? See, this is what you keep saying. This is why there's baby oil everywhere. Bad boy, bad boy, bad. I don't know why I keep bringing Didi into this conversation, but let's keep going.
The reason why most men will not try to holler at a woman in the church is because a woman runs her mouth too much.
The reason why most men will not holler at a woman in church is because a woman runs her mouth too much. Is he telling the truth? Women, are you talking too much in church? But what do you mean? Talking too much in what respect? You know, I just finished talking about context. We need context. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Chinye said they are smashing up and down. They are smashing. People in church are smashing. Okay. CB said, do we care? Do you go to church? They care. There's a lot of sisters in church who are hanging by the corner doing the Lord's work, hoping that someday some brother will see them. You, CB, I know you have all the options in the world, so we're not talking about you. Anyway, see, I knew it. She said, a man in church is not my ideal man, Lobate. Anyway, the church is still a fantastic way to find a husband. In fact, statistics shows that it's part of the top ways to find a lasting, like they've done some studies, and some of the marriages that lasted the longest are people through family and friends, people that were introduced through family and friends. And the last on that list is the internet, for obvious reasons. I hope it's obvious enough for you. But anyway, but people are meeting on the internet, so don't get it twisted. That's just numbers. All right, so let's keep going. It's talking about women talk too much. That's why men are not hollering at women in church. So it's actually the men now, they're scared of hollering at women in church.
Most men will not try to holler at a woman in the church is because a woman runs her mouth too much. So if I approach, watch this, listen, listen, he's here. Listen.
You get a win now.
Listen, I love it. Listen.
He's John Gibbs' brother.
We are here on the entire radio clock. We need to know. Hear it now, women. Here we go. Women, listen. Go ahead, AO. Thank you. Make your point. Make your point.
Make the point.
Here we go. The reason why is because listen, about it. If a man tries to holler at one woman inside a chain shirt, can I finish? Yes. There you go. Thank you, brother. Thank you. If a man tries to holler at a woman in the church, and if it doesn't go the way that they both would like it to go, right? And then a man leaves, and let's say a month later, he sees another woman inside of the same church. That woman is like, yo, he tried to holler at me. He tried to do this. He tried to do that. Now listen, before y'all even go all like, wait, this ain't me. This ain't me. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying this is all ladies, but let's be real. This is an action of a lot of ladies. And most.
All right. All right. So, ladies, let me talk to you. Let's be real. It's mostly ladies in the chat. Is he telling the truth? Do you walk around the church? It doesn't have to be church. It could be in school. It could be amongst a group of friends. If a person that's trying to holler at you, a person that's trying to seek your hands in getting to know you, if they're trying to talk to somebody who's an acquaintance, not even a friend, but somewhat of a friend, an acquaintance, do you tend to say, he tried to holler at me too? Put a 1 in the chat if this happens a lot. Let's in the voice of Uncle Beno, let's tell the truth and put the devil to shame. Let's be real. Do you ladies do this a lot? Put a 1 in the chat if he's right, if he's telling the truth. Put a 2 in the chat if he's capping big time. Put a 2 in the chat if you think it's capping.
Stop the cap.
Or you feel like there's more to the story. Put a 2 in the chat. If you feel like there's more to the story, put a 2 in the chat. Yeah, let's do that. I'm trying to remember my 1s and my 2s now, since Chidima has called me out, right? If you think that his point is immediately in the poto, put a 2 in the chat. Let me see. This podcast tour sounds amazing. I would have enjoyed this in my church days. You no longer go to church? Oh, no, say it ain't so. Let's see. CB says a lot of women think a good man is in the church. Who goes to church? Who goes to church? Nah. Well, here's the thing. If we're talking about Nigeria, Simbi, most of the men are inside of church. They're literally inside of Oyakilome's church. So I'm not even making it about church thing is not even, most of them go to church on Sundays. They are looking for they're seeking the eyes of the Lord. There's hunger in town. There's no jobs. Okay. So most of them are inside church anyway. But yes, you're right. Most women would like they call it a God-fearing man. I'm not gonna knock them for that. I think it sounds sound to want a God-fearing man. I just hope you don't stop there though. I already covered that. This man just wants to cause riot in church. He's talking too much too. Ironic Uncle Shio. See how Literas got happy? He's a whoa. Wait, how did you get here? Wait, what, Chidima? What are you talking about, Chidima? A down low misogynist? He got happy? Yeah. Why do you feel like he's a misogynist? Lateras is a misogynist? Interesting. Please send me the video clip so we can address it here too. Okay, I've seen that happen with the pastor in Niger. Mara says, I get it if that is the truth. Do you think it's the truth? I'm asking. Is this truth for sure? He's trying to holler at a few girls and they end up saying, he tried to holler at me. Black Diamond said, don't go to church. What holler? In my opinion, from certain statements he's made on his podcast. Okay, so Lataras, please share a couple of them with me behind the scenes. I would love to see them, Chidima. I would like to see some of those. So you said 2? He's lying. 2, women in the church is okay. More than that, then he's a hoe. Sorry, that's accountability. Wait. Are you holding him accountable? What's going on here? That's accountability. Well, two. She said two. MOP, church brothers in Nigeria are the meanest. Maybe in Europe, America, they are cool. I don't want to label it with church. I think Mr. Nice Guys are just dangerous. Nice guys are dangerous in general because they tend to be entitled to their goodness. They think just because they're good enough that you should just bow. Unfortunately, that's not how life works. So maybe we can make it inclusive by including church brothers. They also tend to be entitled. They feel like, okay, since you found me in church, you should just do what the Lord says. Respect your husbands. Anyway, it's not completely immediately in the poto though. It's not in the poto, right? There's more to it, right? There's more to this conversation. Hey, yeah, I've only watched 2 interviews. People are previously followed. Chia says, I don't believe so at all. You don't believe he's a misogynist, right? Let's ask. So he jumped up. I didn't notice. Let me see what she's talking about. Let's go back here.
Last time I heard you said church. I'm not talking about change.
Okay.
I'm talking about church, the kingdom of Christ. The reason why I feel as if the actions do not match, and this is not going to be a popular statement, but it's a real statement, and men are scared to say this, but it's the truth. The reason why most
men are scared to say this. I don't like the sound of the tone. Men are scared. The reality is that we do get scared. Okay. But it's, as a man, when you're scared, you acknowledge it, you face your fear, you do something about it. Okay? But when we've gotten to a point where we're just saying, let's make it okay to be scared. Let's just generalize it. It's okay for men to start crying around the internet. Shout out to Tyrese. Right? No. That's the easiest way out. Okay? Yes, we need to hear men out. But men understand that when we're addressing this stuff, especially when they're emotional matters, they need to be done within a controlled environment. Okay? And no, you cannot be playing victim when we're talking about in the context of the interaction with women and children. You cannot be playing victim. I don't know what are you trying to accomplish by playing the victim when we're talking about your interactions with women and children in general. I don't know. What are we trying to accomplish with that? Why? So we can get the women and the children to lead? That's confusing. That creates confusion, right? So yes, men should be heard. Men can cry. That's a fact. But let's borrow our self-brain when we're saying that. We're saying that as absolutes, okay? By the way, already men do complain and cry and criticize and condemn and lose their masculine faith. That's a fact of life already. They do tend to bottle things up because they don't oftentimes realize they can actually go to a friend and say, hey, bros, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm going through. They don't realize they can actually hire a coach. They can hire a therapist, a counselor to actually walk through their issues. Well, why? Because they say things like, what's all that? That's not Africanish. I hear that so many times. I lost. If I start to collect one penny every time I've heard it's not Africanish.
And will not try to holler at a woman in the church is because a woman runs her mouth too much.
So a man is scared, so he has fear. He will not holler at a woman in church. You deserve to not holler at a woman in church. You deserve to die in that fear. I don't understand. If I like a woman, okay, maybe I'm speaking, I don't know. Somebody might say I'm speaking for, okay. In the voice of Tyrese, Holy Spirit, give me the words. So you like a girl, but you will not talk to her because you've talked to her friend before. Is this what I'm understanding? Let's keep going.
So if I approach, watch this, listen, listen, he's here. So if I approach, watch this, listen, listen, he's here. Listen.
You get a
So he's saying, okay, that brother that stood up they can all relate. That's why you hear the noise, right? Also, the women can relate. None of you in this chat have admitted that you will go to your friends and say, he tried to holler at me. None of you have admitted to that, by the way. And I'm calling cap on that right now.
Stop the cap.
But it should not be a reason why a man, I said should, yes. It should not be a reason why a man should not holler at a girl that he likes. I think it speaks to the lack of confidence already. Oh my God. I think it's more so about the lack of confidence. I don't think you can blame that on the ladies. They're supposed to gist each other. Yes, sometimes cock block each other. Like, I don't want you talking to her. Yeah, he tried to holler at me. Since primary school, I've known this. It is a thing. Yes, it is true. Yes, they will tell each other. That should never stop you. Can it stop you? Yes, but you should know, as part of your awareness home studies, that should not stop you. You should holler. You should holler at that girl you like. You should know already, yes, she's going to tell her friend, but so be it. Let me tell you something about women.
Everything I do,
if she likes you enough, and the friend is cock blocking, and she goes, he tried to holler at me too. Do you know she can still kick her friend to the curb? As a matter of fact, she can, precisely because of your level of confidence, kick her friend to the curb and say, I know, but I like him. Ask the same ladies how many times they've said, I know, but I like him. Ask them how many times they've said that. So this is just a terrible, I'm not saying it's not happening, it's a terrible excuse. It's the worst of excuses. Gentlemen, oh God, these are your reasons why you won't holler at a girl that you like in church. The issue is the lack of confidence.
Listen, I love it. Listen.
He's John Gibbs' brother.
We are here, girls and boys. Tired, we need to know. Hear it out, women. Here we go. Women, listen. Go ahead, AO. Thank you. Make the point.
Here we go. The reason why is because this about it. If a man tries to holler at one woman inside a chain shirt, can I finish?
Finish now.
There you go.
Finish.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. If a man tries to holler at a woman in the church, and if it doesn't go the way that they both would like it to go, right? And then a man leaves, and let's say a month later, he sees another woman inside of the same church. That woman is like, yo, he tried to holler at me. He tried to do this. He tried to do that. Now listen, before y'all even go all like, wait, this ain't me. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying this is all ladies, but let's be real. This is an action of a lot of ladies. Fact. And most men will not. I already told PD and Pastor Schmig I was going to come and tell the truth. Most men will not want to approach a woman in the church, even if he really wants to, because he's fearful of it.
Fear. He's fearful. Fear is the real thing. It's about what do you do with fear. Okay? If you have fear about something, you probably should face that fear. You probably should do that thing. Okay? Now, obviously, I don't want you out there taking on assessed risk, right? It depends on what we're talking about. But if it's just a matter of toasting a woman, Baba, you have to step up. Is it me?
If it doesn't go that way, what is my name and reputation after you and I?
Name and reputation on toasting a woman, on approaching a lady. Anyway, let me calm down. It's true. A lot of men feel they're afraid of approaching women. Okay, it's like public speaking. Okay, public speaking is one of the things that human beings fear the most. Okay, their nerves wrecked completely. It's like heaven is about to fall out of the skies. I get it, but I should still say what it's supposed to be. Okay, the fear is not supposed to stop you. The fear, that fear exactly is what you should face. You should do something about it. If you like, no, it's not a hole in the church, okay? He's only toasted once. It's happened to him once. Probably, okay? It's happened to him once. The reality is that, yes, women will tell on you if you toast a few of them in the same circle. It's just what it is. So it's like, what's the point of this conversation? So we can stop women from doing that? No, they will never stop. They will never, ever, ever stop. It's just what it is. They diss each other. So like, just the same way, like, I try to holler at that girl. Men also do that to an extent, in a little bit of a different way, but we also do that, right? Sometimes we do that to protect the other person, like, oh, yeah, I smashed. We used to do that when in high school, in college. You're not announcing it around, but if that person is saying, like, I'm thinking about that person or something, like, you must have, like, you sure about that? I just want to let you know because I did smash, right? And just let them know. You protect your brother in that way, just in case he gets caught up in his feeling, if he finds out in the future, right? But women will do it as gists. And yes, sometimes women don't even do it as gist. Sometimes they will say it, right? They will say to themselves in the form of gist, but sometimes they will say it only when their friend comes to them and say, he was trying to talk to me, right? Yeah, he was trying to talk to me. It's not a big deal. Why are we talking about reputation? Then what does that have to do with reputation? Your reputation as a pastor, that you've tried to talk to too many girls, is that where we're driving here? Or overall speaking, from an overall standpoint, you should never worry about that. Because if you're a 40-year-old man and you're trying to get married and you're in a church and there's a few eligible spinster, that's what they call them, right? You're right? It's a few of them, right? And so somehow in the last 10 years, they found out you've tried to talk to 5 of them. There's going to be a girl that will call you a hoe. Why are you worried about that? You're 40 years old. I know why you're worried about that. It's because you lack confidence. It's the confidence. It's easy to say your reputation, to blame it on your reputation, right? The girl that likes you is not going to be looking at that as a reputation. If anything, they will applaud your confidence. They might have been waiting for a while for you to step up. They might have noticed that you've been looking at them across the room from time to time at the events and stuff like that. But you're just going to sit down there and worry about some random girl that you don't want, your reputation in her eyes, or some girl that already said no to you, or that you're not interested in. Like, come on. Reputation and toasting is crazy work. It's definitely crazy work. So is he a hoe in a church? It could be, but I think a lot of men actually struggle with this, but it's usually just the confidence thing. Do you hear Lateras in the background echoing these statements? Yes, because it's a single man who is struggling in this dating scene. Okay, he's told a few stories about his escapades too. He tried to talk to, what's the name of the actress lady? I forgot her name. She's a legendary actress lady. She's 50 something. She looks like she's 33. She was a smart guy. I forgot her name now. Let me see if I can. Because she was on his show. Let me see. Smart guy cast. Her name is. I'm looking at her face now. That's my guess. There you go. Her name is Essence Atkins. Yes, Essence. Right? She tried to talk to Atkins. Even the way it was, Lateras is a little awkward with talking to ladies. He needs coaching. He definitely needs coaching. Reputation for just toasting little boys in men's body. That's what's going on. Name and reputation on smashing women up and down in church is a situation though. Smashing. But even at that, I won't make a big deal out of it. Outside of course, as far as a pastor, okay, I'll say reputation, right? Because of that title, being a pastor, yes, I agree with that. But in terms of approaching ladies at 40, now, like anybody who doesn't use their common sense, that yes, you might have approached 5 or 7 people in the last 20 years in that same church. It's none of your business. You shouldn't worry about that, right? You shouldn't worry about that. And if you keep worrying about that, you're going to be single for a long time. That's all. Reputation, yes. So I know a Niger guy, early 30s, toasted a 23-year-old girl in a Niger church. She told the pastor and parents got involved. He dated another one teen, the same church. He left. Another woman in the church, and then he left. It just depends, okay? And I'll tell you, a lot of those girls will allow a man, a high value interest man, they will allow him to pass through all of them, run through all of them, and they won't say a word, right? So it just all depends, right? Some of them are just the creepy ones, the creepy ones will get told on. The ones that are not creepy, that are slick enough, they can actually get away with a lot of that, and you won't hear a word. Why? Because all the girls actually want him to pop the question someday. Remember the bishop from last week? We covered the stories of Chanel Scott, right? Who was there with other ladies, all waiting for the bishop. She had kissed the bishop already. It just depends. Dr. Jamal Bryant ain't bothered about this kind of reputation. Thank you, Chidima. In fact, more and more of them are letting him run through, allegedly. How many women has he married, cheated on, dated, made baby mamas? Wahala. Essence, thank you, Jare. I'm behind again. Any guy named Lataras would struggle in relationships. Which kind name be that? Ha! Lataras don't collect.
Sorry.
Lataras needs coaching. You could tell the way he talks about, the way he talks about some of his escapades in the same sentence as the body of Christ and quoting all the scripture. I'm like, oh, bro, he's gonna need some work, But if you don't collect Shege, it tampers with your confidence too. So it is a real thing out there. I feel for my brothers that are going through this, but please, you can't blame the women for chatting themselves up and gisting themselves about who has tried to holler. You can't do that. You can only blame your lack of confidence. You need to work on yourself. I understand the more you don't collect, the more you've been run through. By the way, this man has been there. They've run through him. The more you've been run through by all these ladies, the more your confidence is shot. And it can get very difficult, especially if you're like a pastor who is a smart person, an intelligent person. You figured out all the money in the world. You figure out, yes, it can become a very, very tricky thing. And I think that's where Anthony O'Neill is speaking from. I know a banker who did this, ran through a redeemed parish then. Yes, Marriott, they do it all the time. And everybody wants him to be their husband. So they're like, shh, shh, shh. He tried to talk to you. I don't believe you. The woman would actually tell the other ladies that they're lying. It's just because you want him. They'll tell them you're lying. And yet he was actually running through. And they will tell them, it's like they will tell their friends that they're lying. You're just a hater. You're jealous. You're jealous that he talked to me. He didn't try to talk to you. You're jealous. Jealousy. Now in they worry you. Bad belly. Now in they worry you. But the creepy one, the little awkward one, the one that's been hanging around the corner looking for ways. Every time he tried to toast a lady, they tell the whole church. He tried to holler at me. I mean, he's so creepy. He tried to holler at me. Anyway, I think these brothers, they're struggling with that. Unfortunately, that's why they are walking red flags. As you can see, it has nothing to do with Bible or the scriptures. Okay, it has nothing to do with his confidence. Okay, if you like a young lady, you step up, you say something, and it's okay if you get rejected. You charge it to the game, you keep moving. If you like our friend, you discover our friend 2 weeks later, I would wait. Timing is everything. Of course, it's a way you have to move, right? But I'm gonna holler. You're not gonna stop me from hollering just because I think you're gonna tell. Like that's your business. If you tell that I try to holler, that's your business. Okay. If you got game, they're probably gonna call each other jealous. Sorry. Anyway, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. We got some more stuff to run through today. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. Let's get into the story. I have the story, and then we're also going to talk about auntie that says buy condoms. Don't leave your marriage. So don't be in a rush. Let's hang out. Okay. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. I'll be right back.
Hey Prestige fam, show some love to the video. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we are here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today and take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve. All right, full screen. How to be a marriage material. I'm not sure how much how to be a marriage material we're going to talk about in this, but let's just talk. There's a story that came in here by email, so I'm going to read it. Listen carefully, listen attentively. How many of you have listened to old enough to know what Wale Ayuba is? Listen attentively. I'm going to bounce. Anyway, the breaking point. Let's talk about this story. All right, Man of Prestige, I hope this email finds you well. Though I write to you today in a state of deep confusion and sorrow, my name is Remy, and I find it's a Yoruba person, basically. My name is Remy, and I find myself at a crossroads I never anticipated. I don't know who else to turn to. And for some reason, I feel like you might understand what I'm going through. I came to the UK with Folarin, my husband, 7 years ago. How many years ago? 7 years ago. Not Folarin, Fowles the bad guy, just Folarin. How many people saw Fowles getting dragged in the news today with Bobrisky and Very Dark Man? These people. Anyway, yeah, there's only so many righteous stories I can cover. We were full of hope and dreams back then, immigrants trying to make a life for ourselves in London. We now have 3 children, ages 6, 4, and 2. But despite the kids, the home, and everything we built or tried to build, Folarin has informed me that he's leaving. He says it's for his mental health, that he just needs peace. And it's serious. He's moving out at the end of this month. I still can't fully wrap my head around it. I keep asking myself, what did I do wrong? Wasn't I enough for him? Am I not marriage material after all these years and 3 children? She's asking herself after 7 years if she was ever marriage material. I'm not sure what auntie means, but no be juju be that.
No be juju be that.
Anyway, let's keep going. The worst part is he's refused all help. He doesn't want counseling. He doesn't want mediation. Nothing. He says he's done just like that. I never imagined I'd be here, standing at the edge of an unraveling marriage with 3 kids looking at me for answers I don't have. His family has been meddling, and now mine is getting involved too. Folarin's aunt called my father this past weekend. Hold on one second. This past weekend, trying to make sense of Folarin's decision, the man begged my father, telling him that Folarin didn't give him any solid reason for leaving, which isn't surprising to me. Folarin hasn't given me any reason either. He just keeps repeating that he needs peace and that he's doing this for his mental health. What about my peace? What about the children's peace? My dad lost his temper on the phone. He said he blasted her, but she kept begging, promising to speak to Folarin again. My father, in his anger, now wants to come to the UK to talk to Folarin face to face. He says he needs to set things straight. that Folarin can't just abandon his responsibilities as a husband and father. He thinks he can fix this. I've been stalling, trying to delay sending ticket, but my dad is getting impatient. He's giving me an ultimatum: send the ticket today or tomorrow, or he'll buy it himself and be here by the weekend. He can afford it, but I'm terrified of what will happen if he comes. I'm scared, man of prestige. I'm afraid of Folarin's reaction. If my dad shows up, I'm worried Folarin will take it out on me, or worse, on the children. I fear he might just disappear altogether, stop contributing financially, and become even more withdrawn than he already is. But at the same time, I don't want Folarin to think he can walk all over me. I want him to know I have people who will fight for me, that I wasn't some woman he picked up off the streets. I don't know if you'll understand this, but I dread Folarin disrespecting my father. If he dares to, I won't be able to handle it. And yet, I'm also dreading the possibility that my father coming here could make things worse. What if Folarin walks away for good? What if he disappears and I'm left raising 3 children alone in a foreign country with no family around? It feels like Folarin is under some sort of manipulation. This isn't the man I married. He's changed, become distant, cold, and so unlike himself. He's told his aunt that he's an adult and can do whatever he wants, and that no one can stop him. Where did this come from? Why now? I don't understand any of this anymore. And honestly, I'm beginning to fear there are dark forces at work. But then again, maybe that's just me grasping for an explanation where there is none. I'm so lost, so confused. I spent years trying to be the perfect wife material, marriage material, the perfect mother, keeping the house running, making sure everything was in place. And now, after 3 children, I find myself asking if I was ever really marriage material in his eyes. What was it all for? I'm exhausted, man of prestige, exhausted and scared. Please keep me in your prayers. Yours sincerely, Remy. All right, so let's get to it, shall we? Let's have it. Let's have it. Let's have it. Let's have it. Did you like what you see? You like? Sorry. I'm playing too much today. All right, let's get into it. Any advice for this young lady who has been married for 7 years and pretty confused at this point? But let's see, have a great night. I didn't hear about the Ratchet story. Please bring us up to speed, I beg. Which Ratchet story? Did I mention a Ratchet story? I think Bobrisky will bring you up to speed on that one. Maria said, I want to say something. You want to say something? Please feel free. Let me drop the link. Let's have it. You like what you see? See, many people only discover themselves or have the freedom to be their true selves in the abroad. Maybe that is his case. It could be. Absolutely, it could be. They're finding themselves, right? It could make things worse. She's thinking she can't do it, but she can. Natu. Right on point, Natu. Absolutely, yes, she can. I like that, Natu. There are women in Toronto who went from church, Mari Akata, to straight up studs in 18 months of arriving in Canada. People need to be ready if they japa together. All right. It's been 7 years. Are they still dealing with culture shock? Is that what's going on here? But let me do some analysis. Leave your comments in the chat as I'm going through. But I think there's some lessons here. I hope this email finds you well. Though I write to you today in a state of deep confusion and sorrow. When you're confused, it means it's time to learn something new. That's what it means. Most people, they just engage shalaye, they engage explanations, they engage their pre-existing common sense. But when you're confused, man or woman, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just tell yourself, I'm confused. It's time to learn something new. Okay? Just say, I'm confused. It's time to learn something new. Very, very important. All right? You need to acknowledge that you're confused. It's time to learn something new. My name is Remy, and I find myself at a crossroad I never anticipated. Most people never see it coming. Most people that are experiencing some form of rejection from their partner, they never see it coming. Most of this kind of story that I hear is a man never see it coming. They never expected it.
I never expected it.
All right. I feel like you might understand what I'm going through. I came to the UK with Folari, my husband, 7 years ago. We were full of hope and dreams back then. Immigrants trying to make a life for ourselves in London. We now have 3 children, ages 6, 4, and 2. But despite the kids, the home, and everything we've built or tried to build, Folari has informed me that he's leaving. All right. So this is the part that we don't pretend, don't pretend that this is happening overnight. There's been issues with the marriage. You might have been bottling things up. You might have been brushing issues under the rug. He might have been complaining about certain things, and it's just marriage. Just get over it, right? You might say it out loud, you might not say it out loud, but this is one of those situations. Also, you might have been complaining about other things, but because it's the first to beat you to some form of rejection breeds obsession. So suddenly you start to reflect that maybe it wasn't that bad. Stop the cap. Maybe it was that bad.
Stop the cap.
Maybe. Well, it's obviously it was that bad because he's now informed you that he's leaving. Okay, but it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to start all over. It's an opportunity to build a foundation. There's a good chance you did not build a foundation. Some people might say you didn't build a proper foundation. Bottom line is that house is not standing. Okay, that house is shaky and is crumbling. And as hard as it is when you go through this kind of stuff, there's really just one thing to do. You need to let go. I know it's tough. You need to let go. Knee-jerk reaction, most people will try to fight and hold on to it. No, fight. Well, what do you mean by fight is the question, right? What do you mean by fight is the real question here. Because, some people, when they say fight, they are trying to hold on to that person that's trying to run away. What do you think is going to happen if you think about resistance? They're trying to run away, but you're trying to hold on to them. They're going to keep trying to run away, right? So you have to let go. You have to let go. If you let go, they might just fall on their butt and then realize they might not. Okay, but you need to let go because there's no other way around it. There's some other ways that people might suggest around it. We might see some of them in a minute here, but let's get through some of this. But despite the kids, the home, and the everything we're trying to build for as a family is trying to leave, he says it's for his mental health and he just needs peace. Okay, we don't know what kind of voices he's hearing in his head. Being in that same household with you, we have no idea what he's dealing with. He might have entangled himself up in a fantasy of another young lady who is doing all the right things out there, right? We don't know. You don't know, obviously, because there's no mention of any infidelity here. Usually that will be on the forefront of the story. Anyway, and he's serious. He's moving out at the end of the month. I still can't fully wrap my hand around it. I keep asking myself, what did I do wrong? Wasn't I enough for him? Am I not marriage material after all these years and 3 children? So these are all valid questions, but there are some other questions that I want you to ask. These are all valid questions, but there are some other questions that I would like her to ask. Yeah. Folari wants to leave because of mental health and peace. That's the only reason he's given. Chinye says there's been trouble in paradise. Chidima says exactly. I was waiting for the message to say it is incomplete. It's always incomplete. It's always incomplete. Anyway, let's keep going. So all these questions are valid questions, but a good question that I want you to ask, if you're Remy out there, is how did I attract this situation? What is it about me that attracted this story, my story? What is it about me that attracted this situation? That's the additional question that I want you to ask. In addition to what did you do wrong? The people, you heard the story I just covered with Samuel L. Jackson. We all do stuff wrong, right? But something has happened. It's been 7 years and somehow it's ended up in this space. But it's not just something that has happened. It's a series of things, a sequence of things that has happened. Wasn't I enough for him? Who knows, right? He might be feeling that way. He might never be able to admit to that out loud. Like I said, some people, they're probably enjoying the fantasy of a perfect, a better woman out there, a better engagement, a better, they're fantasizing about, hey, maybe it could be a work wife. Yeah. Some people are that weak, right? They could be fantasizing about somebody else's wife entirely. Oh boy, there's a lot of mad people out there. The worst part, or it could be as simple as he's hearing voices. I mean, not simple, but he's hearing voices in his head. He has anxiety. He can't get his words in. You have never really listened to him, and he's felt like he's lost himself. He felt emasculated. It could be those things too, right? But the only one question you can ask and potentially answer today without him being present is, what is it about you that attracted your story? It's a wild open questions at all types of end, but it's something to start to assess, like, how did I get here? It's not about blaming yourself, which is why I'm not really a fan of what did I do wrong. It's like, oh, whose fault is it? You're looking for whose fault is it? I'm not sure if that will matter. If anything, it will make you feel guilty. And if you're operating from a place of guilt, it will tamper with your level of confidence. You're probably going to push him further away. That's if it's any good, by the way. Wasn't I enough for him? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know, right? If you were not enough for him, then there's only one thing to do. Build yourself. Work on yourself. Forcing them to stay with you is not going to help because you're still not good enough, right? Am I not marriage material after all these years and 3 children? I'll tell you right now, most of the marriage material talk out there are useless talking points. They're basically useless talking points. They're conversations that assume that there's a perfect person that you will just marry and there will never be problem in that marriage. Yeah, they're useless. They're just useless conversations for the most part, right?
Not be juju be that.
There's no such thing as a perfect marriage. Okay. In fact, there was a tweet that I sent out about 4 hours ago. Picking someone good is a bullshit marriage advice and the genesis of unrealistic expectations. The second main reason why marriages are falling apart. Unrealistic expectations. What does it mean? Pick someone good. If you just pick someone good, what are you talking about? It's such a stupid talking point. When I hear them, I just shake my head. Pick someone good. What is someone good? List out the criteria. What is that? What does that sound like? Like a God-fearing man, a masculine man, tall, dark, and handsome. What is that? A feminine, beautiful, and inspirational woman. Yeah, it's stupid. Am I not married material after all these years? It's stupid. So what was he looking at when he married you? Was he blind? Right? If anything, if you were not a married material after all this year, that means it wasn't a married material either. 2 cancel 2, 2 get 2, right? It cancels each other out. It's useless. That's what I mean. If you can say the same thing about the other side, it becomes useless. Feel me? All right, let's keep going. The worst part is refused all help. So a man that refuses help, you need to let go. He doesn't want counseling, you need to let it go. He doesn't want mediation. There are deeper issues there. He needs to go and figure it out. Okay. You need to take all that space as opportunities for yourself to build yourself. Remember, there's a reason why you attracted this situation. How did you attract a man who doesn't know how to ask for help when there's confusion in his own household? That's a big question that must be answered before you can move any further with yourself. He doesn't want mediation, nothing. He says he's done, just like that. I never imagined I'd be here, standing at the edge of an unraveling marriage with 3 kids looking at me for answers I don't have. His family has been meddling. Okay, family meetings are dangerous. Stay away. Okay, I won't say stay away, okay? If they call you to family meetings on your own marriage, you don't have anything to say, or if you say anything, they will use it against you. That's all that's going to happen. You're just going to do shalaye, 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 shalaye. You go shalaye.
You go explain, because no evidence.
You might see a few people that might say things like, well, you too, you shouldn't have done this. You too, firewear Mora. You too, you know, you have to be respectful to your husband. You too. Sorry, I'm speaking Yoruba. Bottom line is that, you guys should love each other. Why don't you try date night? They will give you all the, if they are enlightened enough at all, they might mention the date night. But most times, somebody's just going to feel like they've collected shege from the day. Somebody's going to feel like they took the other side. It's just going to get messier and messier. Ultimately, if one person feel less than coming out of that family meeting, both of you go collect.
Sorry.
And unfortunately, the children as well. Unfortunately. Because the children are paying attention and it's obviously not the optimal environment for them. But once you find yourself in this space, the best thing you can do is let go. That's the best way to create a loving environment for your children. Let's go. Letting go is not necessarily a permanent decision. It's not the end of everything. But this is the beginning of you having some clarity, because I would agree you're in a confused state. And you need to take a step back so you can figure things out for yourself first. Anyway, so families are getting involved. Like, so for example, Folarin's aunt calling the father and father getting angry, and then father saying they're coming over to the UK. The man the aunt, I don't know why there's some mistakes here. The woman begged my father, telling him that Folarin didn't give him any solid reason for leaving, which isn't surprising to me. Folarin hasn't given me any reason either. He just keeps repeating that he needs peace. All right, so he's giving you a bullshit excuse. Well, maybe that's the best way he can explain. Maybe Folarin has gone through some things in his childhood. Maybe he's gone through some things that he's trying to sort out. Maybe he doesn't really know how to explain himself. Or like I said, all the worst case scenario you can think of. What's the worst case scenario? Actually, him having a girlfriend he's fantasizing about being with for the rest of his life, it's not the worst that can happen, right? It's not the worst that can happen. The worst might be like, okay, what if he brings a disease home to you? The worst might be like, what if something happens to him and he's no longer here? If we're not talking about any of that, let him go. So Folarin has not given any reason, he just keeps repeating that he needs peace. What about my peace? Well, guess what? He wants to go and sort himself out and give himself peace. You need to do the same. What about the children's peace? The more you can approach, the more you can engage giving yourself peace of mind, the more you can give the children peace. The higher the chances you will give the children the best available peace for them right now. If you try to hang on to this thing forcefully, it's going to get worse. So my dad lost his temper on the phone. He said he blasted her, but the woman kept begging, promising to speak to Folarin again. My father, in his anger, now wants to come to the UK to talk to. If he comes to the UK, that's on him. Okay. If he comes to the UK, he can come and see his grandchildren. I know with Yoruba people, we might not want to be disrespectful and all that kind of stuff, but it's all in how you carry yourself. The only time they feel the need to save you like this is if you're sounding like you haven't figured things out. Now, I get it. It's very hard to sound like you figured everything out when your husband just told you that they're leaving. But there's a language my favorite language that I try to use for the elderly. It is well. Keep praying for us. No, you don't have to bother yourself. Trust me, I've engaged professionals. We're working on it. Just trust me. Well, I still want to come. You can come and see your children. If they come and they call family meeting, you can be at the family meeting, just listen. But if you talk, everything you said will be used against you. I'm letting you know right now. You can say, I've heard you. I've heard all the advice. I'll consider everything. If you feel like forcefully, you're like, you can say no and you must be there. You can say things like that and you can, let them just end the meeting in peace. But the only solution, the most optimal solution for this kind of stuff, if he's going to come back to his senses, in which case he will have to earn you back. He can't just come right back. That's not how it works. If you allow him just back anyhow, you collect. Okay? He has to earn you back. The first step to being in that position where you can actually be confident enough to pull this off is to be willing to let go, to be willing to walk away and mean it. That's going to be your best position. Because remember, he doesn't want help. Well, he's not going to want help unless it becomes something, it comes off as something that will create pleasure. It's not going to want help unless it becomes that. Remember, he's running away for some reasons, looking for some kind of peace. Whatever peace he's looking for, let him go and look for it. When he comes back, right, he now has to earn you back. What does that mean? It depends. But if you just allow him anyhow, well, he can come and go as he wants, right? Is that what you want? Remember, the biggest question here is, how did you attract a person that's taking you for granted in this manner? That's the main question that has to be answered. How did you attract a husband, right? It doesn't have to be your fault. We're not talking about faults. We're just talking about what is going on. What are the nuances of your story that put you in this position where your husband has taken you for granted to the point where you're questioning yourself and your value as a wife? What is it about you? It's not a yes or no question. I've been stalling, trying to delay sending the ticket, but my dad is getting if I were you, I'm definitely not buying ticket for daddy. Daddy needs to figure his ticket out. Definitely not buy a ticket for that. See, the idea of come and Barowa, come and talk to him, talk him to stay, will backfire. Okay, he's just going to resist, because it's such an emotional decision for someone to decide that they are done and they just want to move out of the house. It's an emotional decision. That person will only get more emotional if you engage it with emotions. Okay, so what should we engage with it? With emotional intelligence. If Baba wants to buy their own ticket and come, let them buy their own ticket and come. If they come, they do meeting, you have nothing to say because you're actually busy working on yourself. Hopefully, you should be busy working yourself, personal growth, because that's why I asked that question. That's why I'm saying you should ask yourself that question. How did I find myself in this? How did I attract the person that will take me for granted? Right? What is it about me that will make this person think they can take me for granted? Or that they think they found a better value somewhere else? There's a fine line between that and thinking you're less than, right? That's why I said, calm down. It's not a close-ended question. It's just something that will allow you to do the self-work you need to do. But chasing after him and begging him, or people begging him on your behalf, no, it's inappropriate. It's not going to work. And she goes, I'm scared, man of prestige. I'm afraid of Folarin's reaction. If my dad shows up, I'm worried Folarin will take it out on me. Yes, he will. Or worse, or the children. I fear he might, because it's an emotional, we're talking about an emotional man right now, who would basically say, forget my family. I think I found a better word somewhere. Whatever reasons that he's given, we have to make it valid. We have to take it on face value, okay? Let him go. It's tough, it's hard, it's difficult. You cry, you start working on yourself. I fear he might just disappear altogether, stop contributing financially, or become even more withdrawn than he already is. But at the same time, I don't want Folarin to think he can walk over me. Well, here's the thing. Do you think he can walk all over you? If you think he can walk all over you, it shows in your energy. It's probably the reason why it's already starting to walk all over you. Trying to get your father to come and tell him he can walk all over you is another level of shalaye. You go explain to
You go explain because no evidence.
There's no evidence because obviously your action is not matching that idea that he can walk all over you. The best way to show him that he can walk all over you is to let him go. It will shock his core. Let him go. You might be like, no, but he didn't shock him. No, it's a function of time. You have to pay. It's a process. Okay, let him go. Okay, we're not talking about a person who wants to go to therapy, who wants to seek help. We're not talking about a person who is open. We're not talking about that at all. We're talking about a person who is completely shut down. You have to let them go. I know it's difficult. I know that knee-jerk reaction will say, fight for your marriage. Please, I beg, tell me, what does that look like? Begging him to stay with you? It cannot work. If it works, it's short term. It's short term. Okay. Mary says she has to know why before she finds out her part in the demise. No, she could just say a person has taken me for granted to walk out on me. Let me engage myself. The person who is shut down, who is not talking to you, is just going to receive everything as you're begging him to stay, right? And by the way, by the time somebody is sending this kind of email, they've tried everything to try to drag them to therapy. By the way, most likely there have been family meetings too. Most likely there have been family meetings. It just didn't work, like it usually never works, So asking ourselves why, it's not even as simple as, oh, what did I do wrong? That's the angle of what did I do wrong. No, it's not about what did you do wrong. It's about engage self-help. Like, you don't have to answer any questions right now. Just engage self-development. There's no doubt you've lost yourself in this type of space. There's no doubt about it. Hi, Susanna. Susanna said there has to be more to the story. Absolutely, there's more to the story. I feel for Remy, but she needs to find sources of peace for herself and the children outside of Folarin, aka let go, as MOP said. Yes. Your peace of mind, your happiness has to be sourced from within anyway. I mean, we like to say that as a theoretical thing oftentimes, but when it comes to practical, we struggle with that. Your peace of mind, your happiness should be sourced from within. He can help make it better, but he's clearly told you that he's not that man, at least now in this moment. And by the way, the fact that he wants to leave right now is all we know right now is it's temporary. Okay? That's all we know. That just means for now, right? Now, depending on what's going on, there might be responsibilities, financials, and stuff like that. That needs to be clear. We need to be clear on that. Okay, what about the babies? What about the finances? They need to be clear on that. And it's a simple question. Okay, you're moving out, but I need to know how to sort out these finances. And if he's not willing to discuss that, that's why they have child support and spousal support. Go to the court. It's the same thing as go to the police. Like, listen, the family member, everybody, they're going to try to shame you to not going to the police, not going to the court when it's necessary, to not use the institutions when necessary. Use the institutions when necessary. When people are not listening and they shut down, that's what those institutions are there for. After they go to the institution, one of the things they will present to you, Marriott and D, and can correct me on this if I'm wrong, one of the things they will present is mediation anyway. Okay, in my jurisdiction here, there are certain family cases that it's a mandatory mediation thing. Like, it's not like you have to. Okay, unless you want to get arrested or picked up randomly in the middle of nowhere. So if they can't listen to you, then they can listen to the authority if you've tried your best in that regards. But you need to keep that about the finances and the financial responsibility, like real life things, responsibilities that need to be taken care of. As far as the romantic relationship between you and him, you need to let go. He needs to find his way back if he belongs there, and then he needs to earn you back. How are you going to get into a space where you feel like you're worthy enough for someone to earn you back? That's self-development. You need to figure out, how did you lose yourself? How much of yourself have you lost in that situation? If you don't do that work, he might come back to actually come and smash, and then he will still dump you again. Just so you know. There's a lot of stories out there like that. Yeah, daddy tell him to respect me cannot work. It won't work. Closure is hard without an answer. I see why she's stuck. Yeah. But closure is something I group in the same space as peace and happiness. Yeah. Peace and happiness. Closure. Unfortunately, many a times you're gonna have to source it from within. Unfortunately. Sometimes the person we're talking about has spied, and you never get that closure from them. So what now? Right? And if they're still alive, letting go is your best chances of getting the closure you're looking for in a way that's actually sustainable, in a way that's actually going to be lasting, because now they're giving you that closure with some level of respect that's coming in. They're trying to do shalaye. They're trying to shalaye to you why they left in that manner. That needs to be flipped. If that's not flipped, you will continue to resent yourself. If you allow him back into your world anyhow, you will resent yourself. You will continue to feel like that's not fair. Remember fairness, obsession with fairness. Like, so you get to just walk out anyhow and just come back anytime you like. How many people have you heard their story that they keep dealing with that? They're coming, they're leaving, they're coming, they beg, they come back. So closure is a real thing, but closure does not have to come from human beings either. Human beings are not your mates. Sometimes they don't have it. Sometimes they're trying to figure out their own closure. They're confused. But yeah. Those institutions are for coconut heads. Exactly. Use the institutions. If you're in the Western world, you have no excuse. Go to the court if they're not taking care of their responsibility. In terms of the romantic part of things, let it go. They have to want you from a place of free will. Let them go. They have to be wanting you from a place of free will. I know that's difficult because you feel a sense of you feel rejected. And rejection is hard. I get that. But let it go. Find the courage. It takes strength to let it go. Find the courage to let it go. Let me see. So I'm scared. I'm afraid he might react. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just blah, blah. But at the same time, I don't want Folarin to think he can walk all over me. I want him to know that I have people who will fight for me. That I wasn't some woman he picked up off the street. The question I will ask is that, were you married off the streets? If you were married off the streets, even at that, your self-esteem, your self-value has to come from within. It cannot be a bunch of people fighting for you. For a person who is shut down, somebody who is making an emotional decision about his family of 5, you're just going to preach to the choir. They're probably just going to get aggravated, annoyed, and double down. Right? Yeah. So that's not the way to prove to them that you weren't picked up from the streets. The way you prove to them that you're worthy is to let them go. Is to walk away. He's walking away. No, you're walking away and you mean it. Because he's not just going to come right back anyhow without doing the necessary work. That will be your demand. You will be demanding that work be done when it comes back. If you don't demand that work be done when it comes back, you already know now. You collect. When it comes back, you say, great, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm glad you sorted it out, right? You feel better? Good. We have to do work. We have work to do. I know you're not kidding. Because what's at stake here? he'll get to do that again. Like, do you want to be dealing with that, the back and forth? What about all the back and forth, the micro forms of the back and forth, the shutting down, all the silent treatment that has happened in the marriage before he finally said he wanted to leave? What about that one? Who's going to pay for all of that? You all by yourself? You're just going to allow him back in? Well, no wonder. Right? It's no wonder. If he dares to, I won't be able to handle it. Okay, say if I dread Folarin disrespecting my father. If he dares to, I won't be able to handle it. If you do, then tell Papa to stay away from this family meeting. They need to allow him to go. He has real life. As a man, he has real life responsibilities. He will have to be held accountable. If you ask and say, okay, how much are you going to be doing? If he doesn't pay on time, you go to the court and say, well, we no longer live together as husband and wife. So how dare you? You went to the court? Really? You know why? How dare you? You left the family hanging. I know you don't have to do any of that, by the way. You just go numb. How dare you? Well, we have responsibilities. If you have to explain yourself more than 3 times, yeah, you go collect. What if Folarin walks away for good? That's a good question. What if he walks away for good? She said, and yet I'm also dreading the possibility that my father coming here could make things worse. What if Folarin walks away for good? If he walks away for good, I'll tell you right now, it won't be because of your dad. You can't blame it on your dad either. Not especially after I've told you to keep them away if you can, right? It's because of other reasons. But maybe you know better than me. What if he walks away for good? Yes, ask yourself that question. Can you sustain yourself? Can you be a wholesome human being if he walks away for good? Can you survive it if he walks away for good? If you can't survive him walking away for good, that's probably why he's walking away. You're probably draining him. You're probably smothering whatever you guys had. It's probably the reason why he's walking away, because he's seen like this one. There's nothing else. She has nothing else. She depends on me for everything. And I need my peace of mind. So I'll walk away. What if he disappears and I'm left raising 3 children alone in a foreign country with no family around? Yeah, what if? It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. What if he walks away? That's easier said than done. It's going to be tough. Gracious greatness. Please, so greetings everybody. The person should go and get condom for the Ebola. Excuse me, Mr. Man. Why are you doing free Kiriwa and Kwekus outside? That's how you think it's already getting Kwekus out? Maybe. Right? Maybe. Most people that tag onto this, they would just drag it along. I would definitely say she should protect herself. She should definitely not entertain any back and forth. It's for these very reasons. Okay? And no, it's not about condom. But thank you so much for the super chat, boss. Thank you. What if you're left to raise 3 children in a foreign country? It'll be tough. It'll be tough, It'll be a tough one. But if he has a job, he will be responsible. Okay? He will be responsible. He'll be held responsible by the authorities. That's why you should use the authorities when necessary. You should always go with mediation first. You should always go with trying to have a cordial conversation first. But if you notice that the person is just proving stubborn, then you have to use the authorities. Don't use the authorities to prove stubborn. Don't use the authorities to try to hurt him. Don't do that. It will backfire. It might not backfire in the form of money, but it will backfire in different ways. So don't use it to punish him. But if he's not going to have a cordial conversation on his responsibility, which is the only thing that he actually owes you, his responsibility to those kids, and maybe for a period of time for you as a spouse, depending on what your finances look like. If he's not willing to do anything with regards to that, then you have to use authorities. But when it comes to the romantic relationship, which is why I think you're writing this email, you need to let go. That will give you your best chances of attracting love in a meaningful way, in the best way, in a way that you won't be taken for granted again, with or without him. With or without him. Where did this come from? Why now? Man, these are all jam questions. I don't understand any of this anymore, and honestly, I'm beginning to fear there are dark forces at work. Well, yeah, of course there's dark forces at work, but if you sit down with Shalayu on that one, you will explain tired.
We go explain because no evidence.
No evidences. No evidence. Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. It will be tough, it will be difficult, but I don't think you really have a choice. I don't really think you have a choice. And by the way, that's a good opportunity. It's good like that. So you can clean house. Okay? You can clean house and start all over again. You're getting a second chance. You might not be able to see right now as that. You're getting a second chance at building that marriage properly or another marriage properly. Whichever one it is going to be, you'll be happy because now you make sure that you're doing it from a place of emotionally intelligent intentionality. I'm beginning to fear there are dark forces. Of course, there are dark forces, but you can't dwell on that. If you dwell on that, you could just explain tired. All right, there are actual things you can do to change the direction, to influence the change you're looking for. There are actual things you can do. Okay, but then again, maybe that's just me grasping for an explanation where there is none. She cut herself. I'm so lost, so confused. I spent years trying to be the perfect wife. If you're confused, it's time to learn something new. Trying to be the perfect wife, the perfect mother, keeping the house running, making sure everything was in place. And now, see, I can tell you to go to him and start asking a question. He can't answer you properly. He's confused. He literally abandoned his family. Okay, so asking him right now, I don't think is the right thing to do. I think the first thing to do is take a step back and start working on yourself. And now, after 3 children, I find myself asking if I was ever really marriage material in his eyes. What was it all for? We can ask those questions again in 3 months' time. For now, for the next 3 months, work on yourself. She says, I'm exhausted, man of prestige, exhausted and scared. Please keep me in your prayers. Okay, those are all normal emotional reactions. Anyway, I beg, who be this for Larry? Another £5. Thank you, boss. I appreciate you anyway. I appreciate you. Film Girl says, can't the dad speak to Folari on the phone instead of traveling all the way? Folari, the disposition during and after the call will indicate how to proceed. Yeah. Most cases like this, they've probably done more. They've probably done meetings, yes, phone calls. They've tried to call him, most cases. Family meetings don't work. Once you find one that works, let me know. Okay. Family meetings, family interventions, they really work. So let's not make an absolute. They really work. Because the family also get caught up in their emotions and they address things from a place of emotions. So it's but if you, that's what we used to have at one point. There was no therapist. What you had was the elder. But usually that elder is somebody that the family has deemed as a person that's wisdom driven. There's something they used to call the Baale. People would take their matters to a Baale's house. That's the head of a small village, right? Because usually the person that's made the Baale is also somebody who has seen it all, and they always come from an unbiased standpoint, right? It's also a person that both parties or all parties involved also respect, right? So all those angles are there, you know. But these days, people use that same angle, like, what's wrong with family meeting? That's what we used to have. But they forget that anybody is just calling themselves family and they're doing random intervention and they're already caught up in their emotions. They're taking sides already, or they are coming off as they're taking sides already. You know, so I don't know if Pops is going to come and take sides. I think he's promising in that email that he won't. But at this point, when he said he's decided to leave, I think he should leave. They should let him leave. Once a man gets into that place where he said, I'm leaving, let him leave. He might for real be needing to save himself. And if he needs to save himself that badly, why would you want him? If something is terribly wrong from a dark place, a very dark place, to the point where he would deem it fit that he must leave his family hanging like that, why would you want him in a romantic way? Like, you should be scared if you just come back randomly and you don't do the work. That's when you should be scared. But I get it. Emotions no be anybody's mates. Your emotions are probably telling you, but no, we've been together for 7 years. Something has happened. Is the enemies against him? Is that girl at work? Is his mother? Is all these people that have been haunting him since he was a child? It's a difficult one. It's a difficult call. But the answer, for the most part, is always let go. Let him go. The answer is always let him go. But anyway, let me leave it at that. Fimgo, I see you. I see you been hiding in the back end over there. But welcome. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, join the conversation. Let me know what your thoughts are. What would you do in this situation? What's your take on this story? Leave me a comment. Join the conversation in the comment later on. For those of you in the chat right now, you can also leave me that right now. Okay, let me know. Okay, then we'll take it from there. Let me see here. Somebody's gifting people, a bunch of people membership. Let me see. I see Mr. He said was gifted membership. Okay, Favor Taiwo was gifted membership. AG Ohio was gifted membership. All these people gifted membership. What is going on, man? He's going wild. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. He just gifted 5 people membership. If you're here, you don't get membership. Gift for more people membership, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. All right. So let me know what your take is in the comment area. I think we need to continue the conversation. There are a lot of people dealing with that right now. They have one partner that shuts down on them, and it's not always clear cut how to handle this, right? Oftentimes they have family come in and do intervention, and it makes matters worse, or even family themselves get disrespected, or family get disrespectful, or family don't know when to butt out of your matters because somehow they've taken an offense, even though you're still trying to fight for your marriage. They might have been the one that made it worse in the first place. It can be it can get very muddy. Like you guys have said, there's more to that story, but these are the issues that people are dealing with. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Right now, let's talk about Auntie Ashewuto Remeka, buy condoms, all that kind of stuff, and then we'll take it from there. I'll be right back.
Hey Prestige fam, show some love to the video. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we're here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today and take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve. All right. So I'm gonna play this video. I think she's speaking Yoruba, so I'll have to do some translations, okay? Let's do it. No matter how mad your husband is, this is Miss Toyin If you can hear it, please put a 1 in the chat. Let's make sure the audio is working. No matter how mad your husband is, let's keep going. Don't think about you want to chase him, kick him out of the house, fling him out of the house, or that you want to move out of the house. Because you will beg, last, you will come back and beg when the children want to do some things. I guess, I don't know, maybe they need money or maybe they are celebrating graduation. You might have to beg. She's talking to the women, to ladies, okay?
My wife must be there. My wife will wear the same uniform with me.
And then some weary person, some mad woman will now say, my wife must be there. I guess another wife must be there and they must wear the same thing because your children is doing something. Your children is celebrating something. And now you find that your ex has to bring their new wife and they want to wear the same thing, right? They want to wear the same anko. They want to wear the same outfit. I gotta take some notes. All right, let's keep going. And then you can't find a single man who wants to marry you. Sit down in your house. Don't just leave. Sit your goddamn butt down in your house. Don't leave your house because your husband is mad. Her words. She said it in Yoruba. Just say, excuse me, sir. Please just protect yourself. Okay. Just protect yourself. She says she knows a friend that when the husband is coming to Nigeria, she will just buy a pack of condom and just give it to him. How's my translation going? Marriott, how's my translation going? So when the husband of her friend comes, he will now call her and say, yeah, Toyin Tomato, Toyin Adegbola. Oh, sorry, Toyin Remeka. That's her stage name for, I think, Asian popular movie. Ashewoto Remeka. That's good. So the husband will now call her, yeah. Look at what your friend gave to me. Watch this. Watch this. Trust me, you don't know where this is going. Trust me, you don't know where this is going.
I never expected it.
Look at what your friend gave to me. The pack of condoms, right? So he called his wife's friend and said, your friend gave me a pack of condom, right? Honest man. Like, no, I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to use this. Let's see what he said. Have you seen? I'm not going to use it. She's looking for someone to get in trouble. I'm about to go and buy my own.
Lost smart.
Can a woman be coming to Nigeria and her husband will buy a condom and give it to her? So she's making the point that there's a difference between a man and a woman.
An equal right, and I will continue to say this.
Yeah. She said, men. She said, men see us as your firstborn, man. So she switched over to advising men now. She said, when women marry men, they also see them as the firstborn, right? So men should also do the same thing as the firstborn. She said, as smart as men are, they are foolish. Smart but foolish. Smart but foolish men. Come on. I don't know, man. She said it's only what they want you to see that you will see. And that's men. So between women and the children is only what they want you men to know that you will know. She's basically saying, be careful with women. Right? Let's keep going. What's the point yet? Because so because of that, she doesn't support joint account. Okay, all right. Let me see here. Let me see something. At this point, I'm going. I'll see if there's a need to come back to that chat later on because we're rounding up. I only have a very simple point to make here. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. I only have a very simple point. Oh, it's the translation that you're calling D-Love for. Yeah. Oh. Not today here. She's been here. But a divorced man will want you. Widow grandma. A divorced man will want you. No, UK is becoming cold. Oh. That is honestly not the concern of women of our generation about wearing uniform. Who wearing uniform help? So she's speaking from their generation, I think. It's something that has traumatized a lot of our women in their generation where the ex-husband will show up in uniform. It's so tacky, but show up in uniform with their new wife. I guess that has traumatized them, so they don't want that. The husband will use the stupid condom himself. No, he said he doesn't want to get in trouble. He'll go and buy his own. Voila. Oh God. Film guy say the man will think she jazzed the condom. What if it's you? Would you think that? I would think that now. Like it's a setup. You would think it's a setup at least, or at most. I'm not sure which one is it. You would think it's a setup, right? This auntie is a walking confusion. Yes, I agree. You know, so that's why what I'm about to say about what she's saying is going to be very simple because it's so confusing. I'm not really thinking, at least nobody in most people in our generation and under, I don't think they're really listening to her like that. I think the people that she's talking to will probably understand her. She spoke in Yoruba too, so I don't know. Translating what she said directly into Yoruba, I'm not sure how that's going to help. You know, it's just best to leave Auntie Toyin where she belongs. But there's a couple of things I'll just point out with regards to this. Ochinye said will not use. Yeah, it will not use. Yeah, it won't use. Yeah. I'll tell you like this. Never leave your husband over cheating. The reality is that people that will leave. It's not because you advise them to leave or not leave. Okay? It's not because you told them to leave or not leave. People that will leave. Those that can leave, those that can't stay, they can't stand it. If they stay, they will show you shaggy. So you're actually better off as a man that if you have been caught cheating, just allow them to leave jejely. You shouldn't be able to trust a person who, anybody who say it's okay, just go out there and just cheat on me. You can't trust that person, right? You can't trust anybody that says it's okay. I understand. You can lie to me anytime you want to, right? Even gifted Man of Prestige membership. Gifted Mary Jo Ade. She's talking to Facebook fracas aunties and their aburos friends. Yeah, they probably can understand that. But in any language, anybody, ladies and gentlemen, both sides, if anybody says it's okay because I understand our generation, it's okay for you to cheat, steal, or lie. At that point in time, you should start questioning your trust for them. You can't trust that person. That is not normal human behavior. Normal human behavior will not make it okay to cheat on me or to lie to me at will or to steal my stuff. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, to be fair, where they're coming from is that, oh, it's going to happen anyway, you must just accept it. No, it's still not normal to just accept being hurt or being abused, regardless of how much truth we want to tell ourselves. Anybody who would accept that, don't trust them. Regardless of what it looks like, after all, we know this is going to happen. Still, normal human behavior, right, will be optimistic unless they've collected shege. If they've collected shege and now they are pessimistic, they will hurt you. You cannot enjoy a relationship with them because they are pessimistic in every way. They're always looking at issues from a half glass empty. They don't like, they're going to show you shege. Like, why would you want to be with that person that's coming into a relationship thinking that life is going to be terrible? They're going to be looking for terrible all the time. If they don't find it, they will create terrible. They're toxic. If they don't see toxic, they will create toxic because this is their outlook on life. That's the first thing I want to say about that. Okay. So no, if you because you listen to an Auntie Toyin, you now come and say, after all men cheat, we should just accept it. You are a walking red flag. Those men, even those men that will cheat on you, don't want you because you sound scary and you're crazy. And then you should work on yourself because number one, not all men cheat. Number two, you're going to attract what you fear the most. Okay, if you don't attract that person, you attract it in that person. You attract the worst. You create the worst in that person. You will show that person shaggy because anything that smell like cheating, you will just show that man shaggy for no reason. Right? You're walking on eggshell. They're walking on eggshell. They have to explain themselves every time. No, it's not what it looks like. What? You went through my phone? Wait, why are we talking about something that happened 15 years ago? Well, she was at that church the other day and I saw the way she looked at you. You see, these are the issues because Auntie Toyin thought they were helping. Auntie Toyin painted a picture that all men will cheat anyway. So Auntie Toyin forgot that if you tell some very weak-minded people that all men will cheat anyway, even if the man don't cheat, they'll be looking to create or recreate what they're obsessed with. You attract what you fear the most. So I get it. It might not be as straightforward to people that lack critical thinking. They're thinking, let me just help, right? Let me just help you sit down in your husband's house. Sitting down in your husband's house just to sit down sake is a terrible idea. That man will collect. Yeah. It's not, it's a terrible advice.
Sorry.
Terrible advice. Some of these names that are collecting membership, where are they? I beg. Oh no, he's just popping them and he's making them member. I appreciate you, but as long as this money is coming into the pocket of here, it supports what we're doing here. I appreciate you. She's actually saying women are smarter and for them to cuddle their coconut head husbands. Typical traditional Yoruba auntie. Ignore them and move on. That's it. Yeah. But I've seen some young people try to do that. Nah, you're missing the part that a normal human being at an emotional level will not say it is okay. Come and cheat on me. Come and just abuse me. Normal people don't do that. People end up receiving from that place, like I was about to say it's pigeon in English. People end up collecting woto in that manner. But this is just life. Should they accept it? No, they will react the way they will react. Okay, like for example, somebody that gets cheated on will react the way, even if they prepare their mind for it, they will react the way they will react if it matters at all. A woman who says it's okay, they will buy you a box of condom to go and cheat. That man does not care about you, gentlemen. That woman does not care about you. It's a terrible idea altogether. I don't care what angle we look at it from. Now, look at this angle. The other thing she was saying is that nobody will marry you, so you should sit down. First, shaming. She's trying to shame people to sit down in their husband's house. Will it work? The reason why people stay when they are being cheated on is low self-esteem, low self-worth. They don't think they have options. A lot of time they actually don't have the options. Not having the options does not mean you can't create the options. Oftentimes, people that don't have the options, just because they have a higher self-esteem, they believe that they can create the options. Some people also leave because they just can't stand it. Not because they're smarter than anybody else, they just can't stand it. They're leaving, they're done. They can't operate, they can't function living with a person that has betrayed them. So they're not leaving just because they just want to leave. They leave because they just can't fathom it. Some people stay because of the fear of the unknown. The reasons why people stay or leave are all emotional. They will never be logical. They will never be, so that an auntie does not come in the same outfit as your husband later on when you're begging your husband. All that is shaming tactics. It used to work. It cannot work in 2024 and beyond. It can work in 2020 and beyond. So those are the two things I want you to take away from that. Okay, it is not normal human behavior to say it's okay for you to cheat on me. Okay, it's a short-term solution. If anything, people will react how they react when they've been betrayed. Forgiveness is not something you can shame people into doing. Forgiveness is something they do for themselves anyway, right? And you can't shame them into doing it by saying you're doing it for yourself. The reality is going to be the reality. They're going to show up how they're going to show up based on the level of trust that they have for you in reality, or that they have for that relationship in reality. They're going to show up off of that. And that's it. That's all I have for today. I want to know her Taylor. She and Lola Idije, they always look fine. I see. Cheetah is a super cato. That's the only one that I know. She's actually saying women are smarter. Okay, we'll cover some of these names. Thank you everybody for showing up. Shout out to all 10 of us that hung out today. I appreciate you. Now do me a favor, right? What you can do for me is take a link to this video and go drop them in those groups. Okay, those favorite groups of yours where you're sharing stuff, share it to Twitter, share it to all the different pages you can share it to your Facebook as well. It goes a long way. If I have 3 people from every show sharing this show on Facebook, it will go viral. Okay, so don't be selfish. Share it. If you're getting value from being here, whatever kind of value you're getting, entertainment, education, either one, it works. There's somebody else out there that can also benefit in the same manner. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one.
Hey Prestige fam, show some love to the video. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we're here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today and take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve.